a final bowl game and what's left for him, but maybe protectively to look on to professional sports.
And Dick Anderson and his crew, well, a loss today would guarantee their second consecutive losing season. They would only have one winning season in the last 5 years if that happens today. There's Don Nehlen, the winningest coach in West Virginia history in his 10th year here at Morgantown after 9 seasons at Bowling Green, his alma mater. Don Nehlen knows how important this game is. The kids we talked to yesterday said, hey, don't worry about getting up for these guys. We know what it means, because a loss would in effect knock them out of the bowl picture, which obviously they can't afford today. Ron Allen and Henry Henderson were back to receive for Rutgers. They won the flip, and there's Brad Carroll, who will kick off for the Mountaineers, who come in at 6-2-1 on the season.
It's going to be very important today for Rutgers to establish some ball control on offense and keep the ball on offense and not give it back. They'll get tested right away on this kickoff.
They're going to let it go. So Rutgers will take over on the 20-yard line. And the man to lead him into battle will be the #1 quarterback in Rutgers history, and that man is Scott Ernie. 321 yards away from setting a new season record, which he set back in '88. There he is, the man with the stash right there, ducked into the huddle. And you're right, they've got to control the football, keep it out of Major Harris's hand. Mike Body, and Jimmy Can in the backfield. Little play action. Ernie's first flip is complete to the near side. That's number 15, Gary Melton. Check out the offense, and there you go. Omar Coley will be one flanker. Tyrone McQueen is split in, and Travis Broadbent starting today in place of Scott Blanche, the regular tight end. And that offensive line, boy, Bill Milano and Billy Hyros will have their work cut out for them today with that impressive rush that the Mountaineers can put on you today. 2nd and 4. For a 6-yard gain on the completion. Ernie to Melton. Backs in the eye now. Body to fullback, and Can the tailback. Jimmy Can gets the call, and he moves it up about 3 yards, still a couple away from first down territory. Jim Gray makes the stop. Defensively, Mike Fox, the man to watch on the defensive line. He leads West Virginia with 8 sacks on the year. Among the linebackers, Chris Herring, #1 tackler, and Ronaldo Turnbull. Man, this guy can come too. He's the all-time sack leader, as a matter of fact. Basil Proctor and Darrell Whitmore are your safeties. It's 3rd and 2 for Rutgers. Rolling. Didn't get around. He will make it, and I think he did. It'll be very close. It depends where the mark is. Theron Ellis drove him out of bounds on the far side. Scott Ernie.
Rutgers coming in different formations, shifting players. Watch this as he comes out. This is a pure sprint to his left. He's going to throw the ball here initially, but then when they block and knock the end Brockman down, he decides to tuck it in, and he outruns Ellis to the sideline and just gets enough for the first down. Key today is to make those third down conversions. Rutgers has had trouble on third down all season making that first down.
Tyrone McQueen split to the near side. Back to the eye. That's Melton back to the split formation. Melton in motion. The flip. This is Mike Body who makes the reception. Comes to the near side. A gain of about 6 on the play. And that's what they like to do. Flip it out to the back.
They like the backs. Body and Can catch the ball a lot coming out of the backfield. But Rutgers has come up in the first 2 series with a new set for them. They split the backs instead of being in an I formation or a single back. And with that, they run a little counter or bootleg action. They try to slip one of those backs into the fullback or the tailback Can into the flat. That time, Body into the flat, picked up 5 yards. They're on schedule.
This is exactly what they want to have each time. A 2nd and 5 or better. First down is the key for Rutgers to keep that ball, keep that momentum. This time it's Can. He drives his way up close to the 40, and he's hit there by Chris Herring, the senior out of Pueblo, Colorado.
People talk about Major Harris and you talk about what a talent he is, but you've got to look throughout this West Virginia team. There are some outstanding players. You just called one of them right now, and that's Herring. Herring's been playing here ever since he was a freshman. He's the mainstay of that defense. They've got excellent linebackers in Herring and Ellis, and terrific outside linebackers in Turnbull and Brockman.
3rd and 1. You can hear the crowd. Scarlet Knight. Up in the air. Does he have it? Looks like he does. That is Jimmy Camp. Ron Ellis meets him. And Rutgers, it appears, has their second first down in their initial possession here today.
Came in with a power eye set and got the ball back to the tailback. He got up for it. He just got it. But they're putting some series together. Very important to their confidence level as you see them hand back to the tailback out of the power eye set. Can gets up. He gets hit by Theron Ellis. But he gets enough for the first down to keep the drive alive.
Jimmy Can, the leading rusher for Rutgers. Had 314 yards coming in. There's Dick Anderson. In his 6th season at Rutgers. Pitch. Can. He's in trouble. Basil Proctor drives him down there, and it's a loss of about 3 on the play.
One of the problems Rutgers has had all year is running the football. Why? Because they really don't have a legitimate tight end that can block on the corner. That time they tried to run the toss into the wide side of the field as we look to the right of the screen here, running behind the fullback, and Can just never gets the block on the corner. And there's number 87, Turnbull. What a size he is. Look at him at 6'5", 245. Not only a great pass rusher, a great run defender. He's got great agility.
Out of St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands. 2nd and 12 for Rutgers. Ernie rolling. Looking. He's going to run. And that's Lonnie Brockman who forces him out at about the 39-yard line. Brockman, the other outside backer, opposite Ronaldo Turnbull, 6'4", out of Pittsburgh.
Now the defense dictates. They've got him 3rd down and over 10, 3rd and about 11 yards to go. Rutgers does not want to be in this situation. They've been trying to work against it, but for that first down play, they lost yardage. Then Ernie comes out on the sprint out. Nothing there. Good coverage on a part of West Virginia's defenders. He's looking at 3rd and 1.
3rd and 11. Rutgers opening drive here in the first quarter. Bodying Can with putback. Draw play. Can tries to go outside. Keeps it moving. Proctor, though, drags him down at the 45. Make it the 47-yard line. But still, Rutgers about 5 yards short of first down yardage. Give the tackle to Proctor.
Good effort by Jimmy Can. He struggled and he ran on his own a little bit there to pick up some good yardage. Not enough, but we'll see more of the draw play today. Rutgers has to do that in the obvious passing situations because people are laying back, putting pressure on them, covering their wide receivers real tight. They've got to draw and change up every once in a while.
Darryl Pellegrino on to punt. James Jett back for West Virginia. True freshman, and the guy can run, but he drops the football, and look out. At the 12-yard line, it appears the Mountaineers were able to control, and they have. But James Jett could not handle a punt, hopped off the shoulder pad, but he's lucky enough to pick the ball back up. So a shaky start here for West Virginia. 46-yard punt. James Jett shaking his head. The Major takes over when we come back to Morgantown. We'll see Major Harris in action. Drop back, fires. Adrian Moss, the tight end. He's got it up to the 24-yard line. Very close to first down yardage. Darren Sellers there to make the tackle. Let's go back right now and see James Jett on the punt return and see what the problem was.
He watched his ball come down and hits him right in the face mask. He never gets his hands on it. Very fortunate to fall on this thing. It would have given Rutgers great field position, but he recovers his own fumble, and Major takes over with a pass to his tight end, Adrian Moss. But it looks like there may be a measurement right away on this play.
Very close to first down yardage. There you see him, Major Harris, the man that Don Nehlen calls the most exciting player in America. And I think a lot of folks would agree with that. First down, West Virginia.
Major Harris, a couple of weeks ago, Jack McNeil, a coach at Boston College, says you can make all the preparations in the world, but if he has a great day, forget it. And that's what you think about every time you play. You've got to try and keep him to reasonable yardage, because if he starts taking off on you, you are in trouble.
He had over 300 yards in total offense last week, the 4th best of his career. Yet the folks remember the 3 fumbles. He had a rough day as far as hanging out of the football. This is Eugene Napoleon. Tries to change direction. He is hit. Number 92 takes him down there. That's Sean Williams. Here's what it looks like on offense. The backs and the receivers, of course, Reggie Rembert, the All-American candidate. He's a great one, number 88. Moss is your tight end. That offensive line, these 5 guys, all seniors. None of them started last year. They've been coming along very well. Kind of took it as a personal affront this year when everybody was so concerned about what about that offensive line. They're coming together nicely for West Virginia. Straight drop back to the major. Moves up in the pocket, and he lets it loose going long for his man, Rembert. And what a catch at the 15-yard line. Oh, my.
That's what it's all about. He drops back, he sets up, and Reggie Rembert at 6'6", 200 pounds. And you forget about the talents in the other positions at times. But watch this. He just sets up. The play action holds the linebackers. He just waits, and he launches this thing. And watch Rembert. He comes off of 37 Celeste, who never finds the football, but he's so big and so strong, he looks back and makes the catch. The big play, the play that really rescued West Virginia throughout Major Harris's career. Now he's got it going, and they got great field position.
59-yard connection. Harris to his favorite receiver, Rembert. Rembert told me yesterday, hey, I'm set for a big day. Haven't had one for a long time. He's off to a good start. That was Rico Tyler, the fullback. Good for a couple of yards. A lot of people, Bob, compare Major to Randall Cunningham. Fair comparison?
Very fair. Very, very similar in the fact that he's got size. He's got a gun for an arm, and he can run all over the field. Very similar, very talented. He's the kind of guy that I'm sure a lot of people are just waiting and drooling for him to become eligible so they can take him.
2nd and 8, West Virginia on the Rutgers 15. Harris on the option, pitches out. This is Napoleon. He's got a blocker there. Moss rising up to about the 11-yard line. Ron Allen, the cornerback, hits him there and drives him out.
Napoleon made a choice there. He just decided to bounce it outside. He would have been better in this situation where he's on the field and make it up inside. As you look at the defensive line for Rutgers, so Fitz is a sophomore starting at the nose position, and Williams, another sophomore at the outside linebacker position.
Number 1 tackler on the team, Bob, as you know, Pat Udovich, inside linebacker among the members of the secondary. Look out for Darren Sellers, probably the best guy back there in terms of making the tackle. Harris to the end zone, touchdown, Reggie Rembert. Didn't take him long. 11 yards as Harris and Rembert are the story on West Virginia's opening drive.
Rembert came into this game with 35 catches as we see him isolated on number 1 Ron Allen. Allen is 5'7", Rembert is 6'6". He just runs a little slant pattern, gets position, and Major puts the ball inside perfectly. Good body angle, and he makes the touchdown. We mentioned Rembert. Rembert came in averaging just over 17 yards per catch with 9 touchdowns. That's the 11th touchdown pass. And we're looking down at the injured player. The right guard is Dale Wolfley, the junior, out of Orchard Park, New York, number 64.
For Major Harris, that touchdown pass has just moved him past Oliver Luck, former quarterback here at West Virginia, in terms of total touchdowns in a career. 55 touchdowns for Major Harris, either rushing or throwing in his West Virginia career.
Well, what makes him so sensational is how quickly he can cover the field, either running the football or throwing. At that time, he threw it with his big partner, Reggie Rembert. As we look at number 64, Wolfley coming off under his own. And that's encouraging to see. He's a big one. He's a fine run blocker. Wolfley at 6'2", 263.
Great pedigree, too. His brother Ron played for the Cardinals. Fred played for the Steelers. Quite a family. So West Virginia on the board here early with 8:55 to go. Extra point attempt is good. Greg Carroll comes on and hits it. So the Mountaineers on the board as Major Harris doing his stuff early. 7-zip, back in a minute. Now pause for a word from your local station.
Good position on Ron Allen, number 1, the defensive cornerback, and with his size, in concentration. The ball is right there for the score. Quick score. They come up that field. They get the scoring drive. As we see it, 6 plays, 87 yards. Didn't take them very much time, and they're ahead. 7-0.
And, of course, the key play in that drive, aside from the touchdown toss, was the 59-yard hookup from Harris to Rembert. And, again, this ball is being blasted out of the end zone. So, again, for the second straight time here in the first quarter, no run back on the kickoff for Rutgers. And Scott Ernie will try it again from the 20-yard line. Scott Ernie, I tell you got to feel for this kid, Bob. He's done so much at Rutgers over the years in terms of records. He's got about every passing record in the book there. Yet he hasn't been able to get the kind of recognition he could get if he was playing on a solid football team.
And he's gotten a lot of criticism this year because he's thrown several interceptions. Actually, he's come into this game with 14 interceptions, but he's had a lot of pressure on him, and I think he's taken it upon himself to do it all because the running game hasn't measured up. But Scott Ernie is still a tremendous competitor, and he's really kept them in many ball games. Without him, they'd be nowhere.
Randy Jackson in motion. Quick drop. That's Tyrone McQueen. Ernie's got him, and he's up close to first down yardage at the 30, where Sam Wilson drives him down.
McQueen, the leading receiver on this club, with 33 this year, coming into this game with 379 yards, as we see, averaging a little over 11 yards per catch. He's got speed, he's got quickness, but the controlled passing game, the safe passing game, where they can get themselves 6 or 7 and come up with a second and short, a third and short, is what Rutgers has to do today.
Just under a yard short for the first down. That's Body in the backfield. Jackson in motion. The give is to Mike Body. He's got the first down. He's hit there by Turnbull.
Ronaldo Turnbull, the senior, at 6'5", 245. You noted he came from St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands. He's big. He's hard to throw over. He can run you down. He's a terrific pass rusher. Great physical ability. And you got to figure that a lot of people are waiting for him to come out next year because he's an ideal outside linebacker.
Probably a first-round selection to former basketball player that Bob Allen, former basketball coach here, discovered. Bob Smith, I should say, discovered on a recruiting trip 2 years ago. He's turned out to be a great football player. Ernie looking, throwing, and incomplete. Just about picked off, intended for number 5, McQueen. And that was Wilson coming up.
Tried to run McQueen down and curl him back, and he was open, but he was open sooner. And Ernie was late with the football. And again, we get into this second down and 10. They don't want to be in this situation. Tough against an experienced defense like West Virginia. The other guy we got to look for today, and whether Rutgers can control him, is defensive tackle Mike Fox. You mentioned him earlier. He's a big one, 6'7", 288, very quick, dominates the line of scrimmage.
Second and 10. Ball on the 34-yard line. Ernie with protection. Sees an opening and takes off across the 40, up to the 45-yard line. Chris Herring makes the tackle. First down yardage for Rutgers, a 12-yard pickup. And Ernie, talk about Major Harris's flexibility, mobility. This kid can run a little bit too.
Again, everything starts out. This is a pass. He's looking. He's got 3 receivers to the right of the screen as they come out, release. People are coming off a block. That time, number 7, Turnbull, got a little bit too wide. The linebackers flowed too deep. Ernie decided to take off. He knew where the sticks were, and he got the first down.
So Rutgers at the 45-yard line, their own 45. Split back. Body, He is wrapped up by Turnbull, and Fox actually made the first hit. Mike's Body out of Holtville, New York. 293 yards coming in. Of course, Rutgers fans remember him for a long time. Remember that 57-yard run against Penn State when Rutgers ended that 70-year drought against the Nittany Lions last season. It'll be 2nd and 9. They give him a yard on the play. Henry Henderson in the ball game. He's in motion. Ernie rolling out. Will he keep? Gets it off under pressure. The ball is caught or dropped. It is caught by Gary Melton. Had a tough time bringing that ball in. Kind of dropped it, pulled around with it, and finally decided to hang on.
Melton was a questionable starter today. He was hurt last week against Army, but he held on. There's a flag down right now. We'll have to see what the call is. But watch this as he sprints to his left again. They're flooding the zone. They got 3 receivers out. He's thinking for a moment here of throwing the football. But because he holds up and finally delivers it, what you're going to have is somebody crossing the line of scrimmage for Rutgers, an eligible man downfield.
Looks to be the call. Let's listen in.
Yep, illegal touching on the offense. Loss of down.
Oh.
3rd down.
Illegal touching. A loss of down on the play.
Tough penalty to take here.
So that'll make it 3rd and 9.
With that, they bring back into the game Body. You mentioned Body and what he's meant to Rutgers over his career. He's played a lot of football for him. He's really had a tough year. He's been chipped up a lot. Little nagging injuries that really, he's never come into any game this season 100%. But he keeps coming back and giving it everything he's got. And he's really performed well under a lot of pressure.
The football almost smack dab in the middle of the West Virginia emblem on the center of the field here. Rutgers has 9 yards for the 1st down. Ernie sees some daylight. He's going to take off. He's going to make it, and then some to the 40, up to the 35. Big run for Scott Ernie. Darrell Whitmore finally tracks him down. Ernie an 18-yard run.
Defensively, that time they came with 4, and watch it open up in the middle. They steer 61 Fox and 73 Summits. They give him a chance. The linebackers have disappeared into the coverage, and Ernie takes off again. One-man show this side of the football. Scott Ernie gets another 1st down. Keeps Rutgers alive and keeps them in here in the 1st quarter. Very important for them to stay in this ball game early.
You know, talking to Turnbull yesterday, so that was the one thing that impressed him most about Ernie. Not only does he have a good arm, but he can run on you. You have to be very, very careful when he gets in that situation. So Rutgers in West Virginia territory, and that is Jimmy Can. Works it just back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard in the play. Lonnie Brockman is there to stop it.
Dropped to the other outside linebacker out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Another senior, very active, stayed at home. Rutgers again coming with that split back formation. They're trying to run across the formation, a little counter action as they come back inside. It's tough. They're so quick. Brockman, experience, stayed there, played, stayed at home, made the hit. Very short game.
West Virginia, a difficult team to run against. They only allow on the average 104 yards on the ground per game. But Rutgers this time goes to the air, but Jimmy cannot hang out of the football. He could have had it right in his hand.
He was looking to run before he caught it that time. He looked back and then tried to glance upfield, never had control of it. Again, they like to hit their backs coming out of the backfield. Can came into this game with 28 receptions for over 370 yards and 4 touchdowns.
He may be the best receiver really on the whole team. Senior out of West Nyack, New York. He's the point leader on this team, coming with 42 points overall. 3rd and 9, 5:13 to go in the 1st. Rutgers trails West Virginia 7-0. Ernie again, he'll try to run. He gets it off, and he's got Melton at the 20-yard line. It's 1st down for Rutgers. They'll mark it at the 21. So Ernie, under heavy pressure, Bob, gets the pass off in the nick of time. 13-yard gain.
Great effort by Scott Ernie and good concentration by Melton. As you watch this, he's dropping back. There's 4 people. A little twist in the middle with 61. Fox going to the left and the Summit's coming to the right. Just as he decides he wants to run the ball, he sees Melton come open and he delivers the ball. Big play. Lots of clutch plays in this drive for Scott Ernie to keep this thing going.
Couple of clutch runs, one of them good for 18 yards, and there, as he was about to be sacked, got it off, and Rutgers is marching, let me tell you, to the far side. He's got his man again. That's Randy Jackson at the 15-yard line. He's out of bounds, and suddenly Mountaineer field is very quiet.
Very quiet, taking the crowd out of the game. That time he went to the split receiver on the sideline with a quick hook pattern. He just came down, stopped. The ball was there, got good position for him on the defender, the cornerback there. And that's the kind of yardage they need as they move that ball closer to the goal line. Impressive drive here.
It really is. Picking it up in small chunks. This is the strategy today, and it's working here early in the 1st quarter. Backs in the eye. Body and Can. McQueen split to the far side, but the give here is the Can. Not able to get much there.
Tough to get on the corner, on the outside against West Virginia because of the speed of the outside linebackers. Once again, Ronaldo Turnbull right in there, holding his ground, just playing off the blocks and then coming back down and making a hit, keeping it to a short game.
3rd and 1. 2 tight ends in the ball game. See if they come to that power I again, Bob. And they do. That's Giles, number 34, body and can. And the give is to Can, and he's got the first down up to the 10-yard line.
Good job. That time they came with 2 tight ends, so they had blocking advantage at both corners, and they came up in an unusual set. Really, they came up in a power I set. They handed the ball back, and Can, running behind Body and Giles, makes the first down.
So Dick Anderson so far has to be impressed with this drive here as Rutgers is pounding it out now down to the West Virginia 10-yard line.
You're going to get a situation now with the ball on the 10-yard line, tighter coverage. You're going to get man coverage out of West Virginia.
That's Melton in motion. Ernie rolling, looking to the end zone. He's got a man. It's Melton, but too far. He was covered well there in the end zone. Darrell Whitmore and great Chris Herring back there as well.
In this situation, you like to look for your tight end because your tight end is normally covered by a linebacker. As we look at this pass, he throws the ball up. He's got it momentarily, but he's going to come down, if he caught it, outside the end zone without possession. But in this situation, your tight end is important to you. Rutgers doesn't have a legitimate tight end, and that's their problem all year. So if you don't throw the tight end, if you get tight coverage, you might see him trying to hit one of their backs out of the backfield. They too could be covered by linebackers.
Only thrown to the tight end 4 times all year. Right now, there are 4 receivers in the ball game. That is Melton in motion. That is Mr. Theron Ellis. Big initial hit there, and Body is stacked up in the backfield.
They tried to fake him on that one. They tried to come out with a spread formation, give a little sprint action, and just slip the ball to the single back remaining. But Theron Ellis is just too quick. He's a hitter. He's very mobile. And watch him play off the block. He gets penetration and throws him for a loss.
14th play of the drive, starting back at the Rutgers 20-yard line. Right now, though, here it is. Biggest play of the drive. See what they can do on 3rd and 12. Big rush, gets it off to Melton. He shuts and jives, and he comes very close inside the 1-yard line. What a run.
What a catch, and what a play by Scott Ernie. They came after him that time. They went tight coverage. They put pressure right up in his face. He got the ball off. Melton did well to come back and catch the ball. Watch this. There's the pressure by Ellis. There's the ball. He just gets it off to him. Now Melton makes a good move on number 11, Whitmore, the safety man. Just misses the end zone. Great tackle there. But watch this. Melton catches the ball. Whitmore goes beyond him. And here's the hit. Look at Herring coming across from the backside, and also Proctor from the strong safety position.
3rd catch of the day for Melton. As you mentioned earlier, Bob, he was doubtful coming in, having banged up some ribs during this last week and a half of practice.
It's a big decision here for Dick Anderson. The ball sitting just inside the 1-yard line. It's 4th down. Does he go for the first down or the goal, the touchdown rather, or does he try and shoot for 3 points?
Well, let's see if they get the first down. Boy.
There it is.
By what, an inch?
With that, yeah. And there's Dick Anderson, his 5th year as head coach at Rutgers.
Boy,
Well,
gotta go.
He's got to go for it at this stage in this game, and also at this season, and the kind of importance this game has for his club.
They'll come up in that power eye again, it appears. After the great move by Melton to set him up an inch away from first down yardage and 1 yard away from the end zone. Second man through. Does he have it? Touchdown, Rutgers. Yes, James Can. Big play as Rutgers will even up the ball game with a point after touchdown.
That's the big one. You called it. Jimmy Can getting up and getting over with his fullback in front of him. Body. Watch this. As the line comes off, he just has to make an inch for a first down as he vaults over. The line does a good job of bringing the defensive men down and giving Body a chance to vault. He gets the score. Very important score early on here for Rutgers.
Boy, and what it does for their confidence right now, Bob. Wow. Doug Giesler on to attempt the extra point. He nails it. So we're all even at Mountaineer Field. 2:32 to go, first quarter. Mountaineers and the Scarlet Knights, 7-all.
Pulling power. Which full-size pickup truck really has the most? We put the truck with the biggest standard engine up against the truck with the most standard torque and let them pull. And the answer is, it's the truck with both. The biggest engine and the most torque. The big Ford pickup. Ford trucks. The toughest competition we have is ourselves.
Save up to $2,332 with F-Series option packages during truck month.
Nothing's too good for my baby. Nothing. So my baby gets very special treatment.
There's a gasoline so special, it even exceeds BMW's detergency standard.
Fill it up. Ultra.
Sunoco Ultra 94. Clean power from the highest octane under the sun. Nothing else can match it.
Nothing.
This half of Great American Independent Football is brought to you by, in part, Ford and your local Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? What a drive from Rutgers. John Neal, I'm saying, what hit it here, huh?
Well, big plays in that drive, and big plays you got to make in order to stay in a ball game against West Virginia. Big plays by Scott Ernie and his receiver corps, particularly Gary Melton and Tyrone McQueen. A couple of clutch catches there.
Converted on 3 third-down situations and 1 fourth down on an 80-yard drive. Falling down, that is James Jett. At about the 22-yard, 16-yard return. Let's watch the touchdown one more time as Can goes over the top.
Look at that offensive line on the left side doing a great job of blocking. Steve Tardy, the left guard, makes the hit, gets those people down. You get those kind of guys, that kind of play. 17 plays, 80 yards for the score. Look at the time of possession. Very controlled by Rutgers.
When the Rutgers coaching staff sat down to create a game plan, that's exactly the drive they had in mind. That's exactly how they had it worked out. And it's 7-all here in the first quarter. Major Harris again, and this time it's Derek Ford. The tailback moves it up to about the 26-yard line.
One of the problems all year for Rutgers has been their defense, their inability to contain people, to stop the run. Syracuse came in here a few weeks back, controlled the ball on the ground. Billy Shaw had his best day passing. Rutgers defensively does not have the speed and the size of many teams they play, and they really got to cope with lots of movement from their down linemen and linebackers in order to compensate for it.
2nd and 6 after the 4-yard gain from Ford. Takes the delay. Harris, good protection. Now flips it out. He's got his man. That's Fedorko, but he couldn't quite bring it in at about the 42-yard line.
This is typical of Major Harris, though. He comes off a little play fake to the tailback here. He sits up and he's looking and he's waiting for Fedorko, number 6, to come across the formation. But as he starts to his left, the ability to just throw the ball, flick it out there, very close. That pass was very catchable by Fedorko.
Major can get a good ball off while throwing off balance, as you can see there. Harris looking, again, all kinds of time. Is he going to scramble? Yes. 30, 35-yard line. Good for the first down as Major Harris, as he's done all season long. In fact, his entire career makes something out of nothing. Sean Williams drives him out at the near side.
And Rutgers has to keep him contained, and that time they had him contained, but finally the defensive end started to go inside, and he doesn't belong in there because he bounces it right outside as you look at those totals. Everything is all-time when you refer to Major Harris. All-time passing, all-time rushing, many touchdowns. It's amazing. He's done it all, and he's only in his junior year.
From the 35, draw play, Ford looking for some room to the near side at about the 41-yard line where Marshall Roberts takes him out. Garrett Ford, a local kid right here out of Morgantown, a fan favorite. His dad played ball here at West Virginia. Garrett Sr., who's now involved with the program here, an assistant athletic director. But Garrett Ford is a redshirt freshman, big kid, 6'1", 223. He's had a couple of 100-yard games this year, supplanting Eugene Napoleon, who's really been knocked up with injuries all season long. 2nd and 4. Minute 30 to go here in the first quarter. Major on the option, gonna keep it, got some room across midfield, and look out, folks. 20, 15, 10, 5, is he in? Yes! Touchdown! Harris! Wow!
It starts out so innocently. Just a plain old option down the line, and you see the rest that can happen with the great athletic ability of that guy.
59 yards, Major Harris all the way.
Watch as he comes down the line, straight down the line option. There's the trail back 32 Ford. He decides now to elect. He fakes him out. There's a block downfield on the cornerback, Allen, and now it's a foot race. And that's what he's got, the ability to run and get into the end zone for the score.
The kick from Carroll is good, and just like that, it's 14-7. Major Harris got a big smile on his face at any time from anywhere. That man can strike. He just did.
What's for lunch? Human. What's for lunch?
Salmon.
What's for lunch?
Salmon. I only want
the way, and watch this dive coming up here at the very end as he just does sneak in. That is Marshall Roberts over there. And,
he runs the field like an open field. You know, he's just a halfback in the open field. The thing is, as you look at it, 5 plays in a minute and 12 seconds, and he's got a 59-yard run attached to it. Major Harris, who's 6'1", 210 pounds, and just continues to amaze you.
You got to realize that Major's the #1 rusher in this football team, averaging nearly 74 yards a game. He's probably already exceeded that today. Once again, a boomer, and Ron Allen thought, well, maybe I'll take it out, maybe I won't. Ron Allen, who last year, as you remember, a couple of 90-yard-plus kickoff returns, so if anybody's capable of taking one out of the end zone, he probably is.
Henry Anderson, the senior, was back there with him in the dual safety role, and he wasn't about to let him come out of that end zone.
He almost had to tackle him, didn't he? 14-7, West Virginia on top. Major Harris is struck twice, once via the air to Reggie Rembert from 11 yards out. You saw the play moments ago, a 59-yard run on the option. It's 14-7. Jimmy Garantano, flank to the near side. Split up top, that is Jackson. Hand in motion. The toss is number 87, the big tight end. That is Scott Blanche. Tries to work it up close to the 30-yard line.
There's one of the frequent times they hit the tight end. Scott Blanche came into this game, the senior, with 3 receptions and 35 yards. Just a drop-back action, possession-type pass. Blanche comes open, he hits him with the ball, he catches it, and gets upfield, gets good yardage. And this is what Rutgers did on that last drive. They just kept making the first down, moved up the field, got big plays out of their quarterback scrambling. As you look at the senior from Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
2nd and 1, 9-yard gain. Ernie so far 7 of 10 through the air. Second pass through, that is Can, but he is stacked up there. That's the backup inside backer Steve Grant, who, although he doesn't start, is a #2 tackler in this football team.
He's very active. He's the only true freshman to play last year. But he's got size at 6'2", 225, and he's one of the large contingent of players that West Virginia has from Miami, Florida. 3 of their starting defensive backs. Fulton at cornerback. Proctor at strong safety, and Waters, who was injured a little bit last week, but Preston Waters, the other cornerback, all from Miami. They've done a good job recruiting in South Florida.
They love to bring the kids up. Reggie Rembert, another kid out of Florida, has done well for them over the session. Rutgers, 11.5 minutes, only 3.5 for West Virginia. The difference is the Scarlet Knights have been picking it up in bits and pieces. And that long, long drive. And a fumble on the play. Yes, West Virginia, it appears, has recovered. That was number 32, Jimmy Can, who was hit. And West Virginia will have the football on the 32-yard line. That's Chris Herring, the senior linebacker.
was unfortunate. He gets through here, and he makes the first down. He's sort of casually running. Watch him as he carries. Oh, it gets hit right there. He bumps into his fullback, who's trying to block up front for him, body, and Herring, the linebacker, falls on it. Big break for West Virginia. They got great field position.
Chris Herring, who I was told earlier, has all kinds of family here from Colorado, from Chicago on this, his final home appearance of his career. As Rico Tyler, the fullback, he fumbles the football. I believe he was down already, however, at the 30-yard line as Pat Udovich hit him there.
Pat Udovich, the senior out of Brookhaven, Pennsylvania. He's the smart player. He's the guy that's been there. He's the leading tackler with 49 solos coming in this game. He's had a tough time as we look at Chris Herring on the sideline.
Major Harris will throw, and he's got a man, but it's up in the air. Is it incomplete, or did he catch it? That was Adrian Moss. They'll give him the catch, and it's a fumble, and Rutgers has recovered. What a wild play.
What a chain of events. Can you believe it? And look at Don Nealon. He saw it happen. Tough break, he came. Come on, let's get off and get the ball back.
That was Harris to Moss. Moss made the catch, got hit, the ball goes up in the air, and Rutgers falls on it to get the ball back at the 7-yard line.
Beautiful execution. Watch him as he releases. The tight end comes right down and releases in the middle behind the linebackers. He gets hit from the side by the cornerback. That time it was Marshall Robertson. Watch the ball come loose. Big break for Rutgers. Big break. They were on their way to another score.
So 2 turnovers very quickly here in the last 30, 40 seconds, and Rutgers has the football again. Scott Ernie. That'll be Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. He's at the control. So far, they're working very effectively. Again, it's Buchanan, and he's gang tacking at the 10-yard line. Grant, the first man to get some contact there.
Rutgers got to be very careful in here. They can't afford to make a mistake and give the ball back in field position. They're chewing away inside, trying to get some yardage, get the ball up and make a first down. Get a little more field to work with. Very hard to operate in here.
2nd and 7. Cannot make the mistake. Stay in this ball game. There's just no way they can do it. Ernie across the middle. That's Scott Blanche. He's up to about the 21 to 22-yard line. So Scott Blanche, very infrequently used throughout the year, has been hit twice so far today by Ernie. That one good for a first down, 12 yards.
And maybe that's the reason they have not used him. They have not had the tight end in their passing game. Today they come in and they throw to him twice, get first downs out of it. And because of that, West Virginia, in scouting and looking at the films in these games, has not seen the tight end that much. It could be a factor today, especially in the crucial.
Also could be a result of 2 weeks to prepare for West Virginia, too. They did not have a game last week. They can put things like this in a couple of weeks as opposed to just the normal 1 week. Ernie with Ronaldo Turnbull coming after him. Gets it off. It is incomplete. That was Jim Garantano. Tyrone McQueen also over there. Ball dropped. Ted Kester provided coverage.
That time I think the ball was intended for McQueen, and Garantano came back and made the play on it. It was, I think Ernie was looking for McQueen all the way. There was a mix-up in that call.
It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 21-yard line. Scott Ernie, a guy that a lot of schools didn't think could play big-time college football at the quarterback position.
Exactly. They looked at him as a fine athlete, but they didn't think he could do it at quarterback. Rutgers did, and he's gotten a lot of mileage for him.
Boy, no kidding. Draw play. Hand. Puts his head down. Gets up to about the 26-yard line. Basil Proctor gets the tackle there.
Again, another critical third down for Scott Ernie. Third down on about 6. The ball sitting just over his 25-yard line. Got an injured player for West Virginia on the field.
Let's go to West Point right now, where Army and Boston College are battling, and Army has just scored to even the game at 7-all. Brian McWilliams is the quarterback. Calling signals here. Little play action. And watch him fire to the end zone. He'll hit his man Worsham right there. Something you don't see Army do very often. Go to the air. As Army's on the board, BC and the Cadets even at 7 in the second quarter play. That's Proctor being assisted. Off the field. Boy, this kid is big. Former linebacker. He may be the biggest safety you're going to find in college football. 6'4", 235. Come on. 14-7 West Virginia. We'll take a break. Stay with us. Folks, I mean, everybody's participating here. Wow. Right now, though, 12:53 to go for the half. 14-7 West Virginia. 3rd and 6 for Rutgers. On their own 26. Scott Ernie rolling out. Look out. That is Teron Ellis who comes over. Ernie gets it up to about the 31-yard line. Chris Herring came over and knocked him down.
He was looking to throw this football off the sprint out action, but he's never going to get outside of contain. Watch the pressure here. The end is blocked down. They get Turnbull down, but here comes the inside pressure from Ellis. He's all over the field, and as he tries to get to the first down, the ever-present Chris Herring, active linebacker at 6'3", 220, comes over, makes the hit. We've got another 4th down and short yardage, but they're in a different situation here.
Yeah, Ernie about a yard short of where he wanted to be. And clearly at the 30-yard line, this stage of the ball game, you got to punt this thing away.
The officials have called for the change, so they're going to bring him in and take a look at it.
Doesn't look terribly hopeful, but you never know. Let's take a look at it and see what happens. A lot of pressure on Dick Anderson. Won just twice this year in 8 games, Bob. A lot of people feel like his job is in jeopardy. The administration says they'll make a review after the season and evaluate as they do each year. They're about 4 or 5 inches short, it appears.
Well, it's a gutsy call on the part of Dick
Anderson. They're going to go for it.
This is what you got to do when you've only won 2 games. That's the way he's looking at it.
Well, maybe so. He was lucky enough to make it happen last time on the 4th and inches from the 1-yard line when they scored the first touchdown, their only touchdown of the ball game. This one, I just say, is much different, though.
He come up in a powerized set. They've also practiced running a little wishbone in short yardage. Let's see what they come up with this time.
And the fans love it. Powerized. Giles, Body, and Can in that powerized formation. And they give it the first man through, and that is Teron Ellis who makes the big hit. 2-yard loss. West Virginia football, and the gamble does not pay off.
And the coach in these situations starts to second-guess himself because he says, hey, I probably should have kicked it that time. But that's the way it goes. He felt he had to do it. Here they're trying to slip the ball to the back, the halfback Body. He never has a chance. Jim Gray, the nose guard, came in, got penetration, made the first hit, and then everybody else collapsed on it.
Now, is that Body who is down? Unable to tell from our vantage point right now. I believe it is, though. We'll let you know what happens there, but right now let's pause for a word from your local stations. Since 1980, they've continually upgraded and improved it and enlarged it, so today it seats, what, 63,500 back in 1980 when they first opened the doors. It's been about, what, 50,000 in here, but they pack it every weekend.
It's a great facility, and it's a beautiful facility to come and watch a game. It's a good facility for them to recruit with because it is impressive.
So West Virginia with the football on the Rutgers 30-yard line, and as you can see, a broken play here. Tyler Carey. Had some strange movement off the ball there. That was Bouchard. Tyler saying, what's going on here?
Well, here's the situation. You got to look at this, and naturally you're in a position where you can second guess whenever you go on 4th down. But to give the ball to Major Harris around the 30-yard line, your own 30-yard line, is trouble. That happened. The play didn't work. Now it's up to Rutgers to dig in and try and contain themselves. You will not let them get another score with 12 minutes left in the second period.
Second, ain't that last play peculiar? The right side of the line didn't respond to the hike of the ball. Major tosses it out. This is Napoleon. Tries to turn the corner. There is a fumble, however, and who's got it? Rutgers players are confident they do. And they do. So Eugene Napoleon tried to turn the corner. He gets stripped. And that, with the football, is number 93, Elnardo Webster, the linebacker.
Webster came over and made the hit. This is a This is the option again. A little fake to the fullback as he comes down the line of scrimmage. Watch the threat of Major Harris. Two people descend on him. By the time he kicks it out to Napoleon, he's got some yardage, but he holds up to get hit, and he coughs the ball up. And Elnardo Webster, the junior out of Jersey City, comes up with a big play, and I'll tell you, a lot of guys on that sideline are breathing easier.
One of them might be Dick Anderson right now, too. But there's Webster. Ron Allen made the initial hit. So Rutgers gets the football back as West Virginia with another turnover. They coughed the ball up 11 times. That's a school record 11 times last week versus Penn State. They lost to the school record 5 times. Here is Ernie again. It looks like the tight end, Scott Blanche, his third catch of the day. Theron Ellis is right there.
His third catch of the day, which totals what he's caught all season. So now he's got 6 receptions for the season, 3 in this first half of the football game, and they're using him in a possession-type pass-catching situation.
11:28 to go in the first half. Mountaineers up by a touchdown. 2nd and 6. Ernie throwing. Complete to McQueen at the 42-yard line. He is hit immediately by Turnbull and Fulton at the 44.
Scott Ernie's ability to roll out, to sprint out on the corner, and to hang in there makes this play go. He gets on the corner. It looks like nothing will develop. By that time, receivers come open. He waits. He pans the field, and he dumps the ball off to McQueen, and he makes the catch for the first down. He's putting that kind of pressure on with his running ability. And I think West Virginia's very conscious of his scrambling, particularly in that first touchdown drive, and it's helping him to make the pass now because they're not putting the same type of pressure on him.
First down for the Scarlet Knights. Ernie having a fine afternoon. 10 of 14 for 90 yards. Another completion, this time to Randy Jackson as Rutgers in West Virginia territory. That was Sam Wilson to make the hit.
That time he put his formation to the wide side of the field and threw back into the sideline where he knew he had single coverage on Randy Jackson, the senior receiver out of Washington, D.C. And again, good play calling. Lots of time because he's throwing on first down, and he's mixing his plays beautiful. The big key for Rutgers offensively is not to get in third down in long situations or make mistakes and give West Virginia the ball in field position.
Well, this is what they want. 2nd and 3. Driving forward, that is Chris Herring, who makes the stop on Jimmy Cann. Very close to a first down. It appears he has it. See where they mark the football. First down, Rutgers.
Good job up front. Okay, in the ball game because of the injury to Mike Body. He had an ankle injury. He's been hampered by that type of injury all year. Is Dwight Giles, number 34, another senior who comes into these situations. Giles, pretty good blocker, pretty good inside runner. Don't use him as much as a receiver.
The chances are we may see the ball go even more often. Number 32, Jimmy Cann, because of the injury to Body. It is an ankle. Not sure how serious it is just yet. Melton in motion. Roll to the far side now. What he does so well. Incomplete and just about picked off on the far side by number 25, Lawrence Drumgoole.
That time he had Melton. Melton came back to the football. He flooded the zone with three receivers as you see him sprinting to his right. Full sprint to his right. There's no pressure in his face. This enables him to get on the corner. That's dangerous. Melton is open. He just doesn't come back and concentrate enough on that football. A little bit behind him. Should have handled it.
Scott Ernie, who will once again this year lead Rutgers in passing. He'll be the first guy in the modern era of Rutgers football to lead the team in passing 4 straight years. And look at the rush pass statistics there in terms of play selection. 2nd and 10. Henry Henderson in motion. The quick pitch. That is Jimmy Cann across the 40 to the 38-yard line.
They use motion a lot in their offense, many times to get receivers into the flat or into the open area. That time they took Henderson, motioned him, and used him as a blocker and pitched the ball back to Body on the corner. Got good yardage. And that's what they got to do, nibble away between the run and the pass.
Sets up a 3rd and 4. Looks like Cann is banged up, too. And the trainers come out to assist him. He may just got his bell rung a little bit. They can't afford to have him out along with Body. 15 carries, 40 yards for Jimmy Cann. Of course, that touchdown, the only one on the board so far. 5:30 to go. We're in the first half. Mountaineers up by a touchdown. Total yardage very, very similar. But the difference is that Rutgers has been controlling the football. They have something like 40 offensive plays compared to only 12 for West Virginia.
That's a phenomenon. 9:30 left in the second quarter. They've had the ball that many times, but West Virginia's got it in big chunks. The big rushing or scrambling and turning into big yardage and touchdowns by Major Harris, or the long bomb to Reggie Render. Crucial right here.
But Rutgers now faces a big 3rd and 4 play on the West Virginia 39-yard line. And Ernie again, he throws it, complete to Blanche, and it's a first down for Rutgers. And again, Blanche playing a major role in the Rutgers offensive attack today.
It's almost like he's invisible. He just hesitates on the line of scrimmage. Linebackers take their drop, and then he just releases inside, catches the ball at 4 to 6 yards. And it's a possession pass, very effective. They're going to have to start looking him up. And Scott Ernie is using him very effectively today. 4 receptions, 1 more than he had already going into the season.
Very, very safe, controlled, tight passes. Ernie has yet to let one loose. Not taking the chance here on first down. He's sprinting out. He's in trouble. And it's Fox who got him tripped up initially, and then he goes down at the 30-yard line. Chris Herring makes the stop. Now, let's head back to Army, BC, and the cadets, and this time Mike Mayweather, who ranks among the top 5 in rushing in the country. He gets the ball down low. 3 yards across for the touchdown. Just does sneak in there as Army takes a 14-7 lead there in the second quarter. Good back.
He's a great back. That little counter play off the wishbone, so effective, and he runs it as well as anybody.
2nd and 9. Again, looking for McQueen this time. Ernie simply overshoots him.
You knew it right away. He came out on a quick sprint. McQueen turned back to the football, and he just let it go. That was on Scott Ernie. He knew it. He's going to tell Tyrone McQueen that. Don't worry about it. I'll get it to you next time. But it's 3rd down again. The ball sitting just outside the 30-yard line of West Virginia.
Scott Ernie, who is the career record holder at Rutgers for touchdowns with 34. Total yards, came in with over 6,300 in his career. He's got 103 yards through the air so far today. And again, all been very, very short hits.
Very important here. The wind is at Rutgers back. If they can't get a first down, they've got a chance to go for a field goal. They don't want to give up possession.
Split back, Henry Henderson, and he's across the 25 to the 24-yard line, very close to the first down.
Again, in the 3rd and long, they came with a draw play. Henderson, who's been an outstanding runner here throughout his career, hampered by injuries the last 2 years, just getting back into form. Little draw play action right there as he hands the ball back to Henderson. He gets up very, very close, and here's a decision for Dick Anderson again.
Henry Henderson is a senior from Akron, Ohio. Quickest back in the Rutgers stable. It's 4th down. They have not made it. They're a little less than a yard away. Looks like Rutgers will call a timeout, and they have. As Scott Ernie trots over to discuss strategy with Dick Anderson, this time from the 24-yard line. No question about it. They will go for it. A trail by a touchdown. We'll see what happens in the hills of West Virginia. Over to him just moments ago. Is he trying to pump him up here, Bob, or explain some particular point of strategy? What is he doing?
Well, they're going over whatever they're going to call in this situation, and they're just alerting everybody. Nobody goes off sides and what they have to get. So, yeah, he's trying to pump them up because all they need is a half a yard to get a first down. Keep this drive alive. They're very much in the ballgame, and they've had possession, much more so than West Virginia.
As you know, last time they tried on 4th down at about their own 30-yard line, it was unsuccessful.
They're in the wishbone.
Wishbone attack, and Giles, the up back. Body.
Bootleg.
But Ernie will keep it to bootleg. He's got the first down. He's inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line where he's driven out by Lawrence Drumgoole. A great call.
A great call, a gutsy call by the bench, Dick Anderson, and a great execution by Scott Ernie. Came up in a wishbone set. Watch the fake here. He's going to fake the ball back to the halfback 42 as he comes off the bootleg action. Everybody eats on it, and he gets outside, gets the first down. And they got the ball sitting on the 16-yard line of West Virginia.
And we talked about Ernie's ability to throw today and how well he's performed, but on the ground, 7 carries for 47 yards. And that's been just as important today, his ability to move on his own. Ernie now, the halfback, that is Jimmy Pan. And he is topped by Theron Ellis on the far side, but he gets it up inside the 10-yard line. We've been told that Mike Body has a sprained ankle, but he is expected to return.
Got to give credit to Rutgers offensively. They've really blocked and protected for Scott Ernie, giving him a chance to throw the ball and scramble. But on that play, it shows how they took off. On the right side, Steve Hardy, Bill Highrope, the right guard, right tackle, gave him good movement in there for the tailback. Jimmy Can to get up inside and make good yardage.
2nd and 3 for the Scarlet Knights. They continue to move the football. Pounding on the door. This time it can. A little opening left side. Inside the 5-yard line. It's a first down for Rutgers. And the fans here at Mountaineer Field can hardly believe it.
They're really, you don't even hear the fans because they've taken them out of the game by possession and keeping the football on the ground and mixing it up with possession-type passes. Now the crucial. Now they've got to get something about it.
4-yard line.
First and goal now. Inside the 5. We talked at the outset. The game plan was to keep the football, control it, keep it out of Major Harris's hands, and they have performed flawlessly in that regard.
Except when Harris gets the ball, it happens quickly as it has in the first half. But Rutgers is close, and that's all they cared about, staying close with West Virginia.
Well, we haven't seen much of Major today. He hasn't had a chance to carry the football. This time, it's Can getting stripped up. Gets back, though, maybe a yard past the line of scrimmage where Sam Wilson is there to greet him.
Big play, though, from the cornerback position, number 28 for the Mountaineers. That's Sam Wilson, who you called, came in and penetrated and really made the play. Never gave him a chance to make the cut.
Really no gain at all on the play. Remains 2nd and goal. 5:18 to go for the half here as Rutgers trying to even up the score here. The 15th play of this drive, and the back again in that wishbone cut. Ernie tries the same play again. This time not going to work. He's trying a little bootleg action, trying to look for the pass in the end zone, and Darren Fulton smelled it out and takes him down for a loss. That's a big defensive play.
That time he was going to come out of bootleg and throw the football. He wanted a pass, but he never really had a chance. Watch Fulton, number 23, top of the screen. He comes off the fake. He's ready to stop and throw the ball, and he never gave him a chance. Made a nice high tackle, never permitted him to release the football. Big play, 2 big plays by both cornerbacks in this series.
Fulton, the senior out of Miami, Florida. A loss of 5 on the play, so here we go. Biggest play of the game so far. 3rd and goal from the 9-yard line. Ernie sprinting out, tossing it to Melton. Incomplete. Coverage supplied by Whitmore. That ball was in his face as he turned around. Might have been thrown a little bit prematurely.
Great coverage, though. Man-for-man coverage. And Darrell Whitmore, the sophomore, who's a 2-year starter. Watch him come up. As he sprints to the right, he delivers the football, but Whitmore, watch 11, he's right there, and he's going to make the play if he catches it. Big play, and it's going to force him to go for 3.
Even if he caught the football, he's not getting in on that play. And Doug Giesler comes on. As you can see, he's been perfect all year long. This will be a 26-yard field goal. Who is up, and it is good. So Giesler converts from 26 yards out. He is still perfect on the year. 11 for 11 brings Rutgers within 4 points here right now. Let's take a look at today's 2 fine institutions, Rutgers University and West Virginia University.
You get a strange quality to the sound, yes. See if you can get a little bit more strength into the finger on it.
Now, in scene A,
this is where it starts to weaken, really here. The motivation comes up here.
That's lovely.
West Virginia University.
Tell you what, they come from all over the state, and you see the parking lot is filled with buses, with Winnebagos, with motorhomes, and we were here last night, Bob. Remember, there were people out there last night in the cold and the rain having a good old time getting set for today's ball game.
That's what they think about Major Harris. You can't get away from it. They're always talking about the Heisman, and rightfully so.
Nah, no doubt about it. We talked to Major yesterday. So, Major, what about all the Heisman hype and the talk, and you're asked every day about it? He's such a good-natured kid. He said, hey, I'd like to win the thing. It'd be a thrill, but I can't dwell on it. That'll get in my way here of what I'm supposed to be doing. Said if I really thought about it, went after it, I'd be so disappointed if I lost it. So I don't try to think about it all. This has got to be difficult. Carl Hayes at his own 2-yard line. Tripped up. Gets up to the 33-yard line. A 21-yard return for Hayes. Sophomore out of Bradenton, Florida. We've got 4 minutes and 13 seconds to go here in the first half. We've got a football game. A lot of folks didn't figure it'd be close like it is, but it's a 14-10 ball game. Mountaineers up 4 points. That drive, Bob, look at that. Over 7.5 minutes. Just pounding it out.
Well, the first drive for the touchdown by Rutgers was over 6 minutes. So they had the ball 14 minutes in the first half, and they turned it into 10 points.
But Major Harris has a chance to work his magic again. Little play action. He goes down, but gets it off the board. And that in itself was something, as he was really almost going to go down there. Pat Udovich.
Tim Lester came in from the defensive end position and knifed in, got inside the block, and got to his legs. Watch this as you see number 98 appear on the screen. Here he comes in. He makes a little play fake. As he gets to him, there he is making a hit, and he just gets it off. But by the time he does, number 32-4 doesn't have his footing, and he takes a loss.
Loss of 4 on the play makes it 2nd and 14. Tyler and Ford in the backfield, little option, reverse direction here, but Pat Udovich, big defensive hit, and Rutgers defense is pumped up as Major Harris caught for a loss for the 2nd straight play.
That time he was trying to run the ball back into the boundaries of the sideline, looking like he was going to try and run an option. But when he saw it wasn't there, he's so quick, he stopped, tried to go back. Udovich pursuing from the linebacker position was there.
3rd and a long 14. This time a straight drop back. He's got the time and he's got his man, but it's incomplete, and that was Charlie Fedorko. Had the football, should have had it.
2 times Fedorko had a chance to make the catch, and he hasn't come up with it. That time he came down, curled back to the football. Watch this. Good contained, Rutgers 4-man rush, defending with 7, keeping him in the pocket. He waits for Fedorko to come open. There's the pass. He just doesn't hold it.
The West Virginia punt, and backtracking that is Marshall Roberts. Good cutback, and he may go a long way. In fact, he's going to go all the way. 10-5 touchdown, and Rutgers goes in the lead just like that. It's a 63-yard return for Marshall Roberts, the sophomore, out of Abington, Pennsylvania.
I hate to tell you, but I saw a big let-up on that punt coverage team. That was an excellent punt, and Roberts just went over and caught it over his shoulder. People were looking around. Nobody got into the lane. He got up the sidelines and took off. Big play for Rutgers.
The fans were booing, Bob, as I think you could probably hear at home after the incompletion from Major Harris to Fedorko. The team rather deflated at that point, and maybe they let up a little bit. Their energy was off, didn't pursue, and Marshall Roberts takes advantage. Wow. 16-14 Rutgers, 2:37 to go in the first half. Next, Giesler on for the extra point attempt. It's good. So the Scarlet Knights, who won just twice all season long, have never won a football game in the history of the series going back to 1916 here in Morgantown, are up 17-14.
There's Roberts. He went back, took it over his shoulder, just went up the sidelines, and there's really nobody downfield. And he's just got the kicker to beat, and of course he outruns him into the end zone. But people let up on that punt. They weren't sure that he was going to catch the ball. They didn't run that hard. And they gave Rutgers a chance, and they took advantage of it. That's a big touchdown. Yes, Marshall. You deserve all that.
He is loose in the end zone. You're right. Hey, it's been such a long, long for the Scarlet Knights. That incidentally was the first return for touchdown on a punt in 5 years for Rutgers. But it has been such a difficult season because the expectations were so high coming in for Rutgers.
And a lot of seniors, a lot of red seniors who had come back to play their final year, 50-year seniors, and Dick Anderson and his staff was very hopeful. They just didn't get off to a good start. They had 2 ties early on with opponents named Selfish and Beat, and they leveled off after the Northwestern game. But they tried hard. They've been hampered by injuries along the way, but today they're playing awfully tough.
That's Hayes squirming up past the 30 to the 31-yard line. Now let's take a look at that punt one more time. Marshall Roberts. Watch this.
Now watch him. He gets up in here, and really there's nobody to be seen. Look at that lane. Look at that alley up the sideline. A lot of guys on their feet. Nobody going for the football, and he's in the end zone. Okay, it's 2 minutes and 31 seconds, and nobody can score or make use of that time better than the guy at quarterback right now for West Virginia.
Time for some major magic. That's what Mountaineer fans want to see right now. They need some kind of injection of enthusiasm right now. Some energy, some vitality, something. Major incomplete pass. That ball intended for Greg Dykes. And again, you hear the boos here. And West Virginia is this off. I think we talked about it at the beginning of the broadcast, Bob, about the letdown after the Big Ten stage. Bitter rival. They lose the ball game 19-9. They lose the chance to the major bowl. They're playing a team that won just 2 ball games coming in, and perhaps we're seeing a little bit of that today. Major Harris scrambling. Doesn't get much. A couple of yards maybe. You can see that ability he has to get away from tacklers. That one didn't pay off very much.
But the most amazing thing right now is they're only rushing with 4 people. 4 people. Major Harris and his offensive line can handle that. Now, even when he wants to scramble, it isn't there. Right now, Rutgers defensively is playing above themselves, doing a great job in the secondary and hanging in tight with the receivers.
3rd and 13. Major Harris, will he look for Reggie Rembert? The answer is yes, but does he have the ball? No, at the 47-yard line. Underthrown. Rembert could not pick it off. He's disgusted with himself. He comes to the sideline. 3 plays and out. That's it.
You know, in this particular series, both passes that Harris threw were underthrown. Watch this one here. He's got Rembert coming underneath and open late, and the ball is thrown down into the ground. He never had a chance to make the catch.
Here's the punt. Roberts again, the 25 this time. No fireworks involved. Greg Herzog's punt returned only a couple of yards. West Virginia in that first quarter scored on their first 2 drives. Since then, we've seen a fumble, a punt, and a punt. Major looking for some advice from the coaching staff upstairs.
With 2 minutes, just a little over 2 minutes, 2 minutes and a second left here in the second quarter. It'll be interesting to see if Scott Ernie continues the way he started, just pecking away at the defense, or whether he'll go up top here trying to get another score before the half ends.
He's yet to really fire it long today. Body still on the sideline. Giles and Kane. Here's the pitch to Kane. He struggled for a couple of yards. Taken down by Ronaldo Turnbull as the clock ticks down under 1 minute and 50 seconds to go.
And they're huddling up on every play, so they're not going without a huddle. They're going to take their time, maybe work the clock down, and then put the ball up top when there isn't much left on it in case West Virginia does have to get it back. They won't have much time left on the clock.
It'll be 2nd and 7 for Scott Ernie and company.
Giles still at fullback. We haven't seen Mike Body return from that ankle injury he suffered early in the second period.
The pitch to Can. That's to Ron Ellis. He makes the first hit, assisted by Steve Grant. And the West Virginia fans want to get this football back one more time before the half. 1:04 to go.
3rd down call here for Scott Ernie and the Rutgers coaching staff. Will they put it up? 3rd down and about 5. They've looked for the tight end a lot today.
The Rutgers Scarlet Knights silencing this crowd of more than 60,000 here at Mountaineer Field. They're up 3. Under 40 seconds to go for the half. 3rd and 5. This is Hand. A little bit of room left side. Tries to work it for the first, but he is short by about 3 yards. There's a timeout by West Virginia.
And the crowd cheers because they felt they should have used the clock more often here in this drive to stop play and get the ball back. They've got 31 seconds left, and they're forcing Rutgers to punt. Very effective first half for Rutgers. They've done what they wanted to do offensively. They control the ball on the ground in the short passing game. They come up with a couple of scores. The kicking game provided a thrill with Marshall Roberts returning one for a touchdown. And they've really taken, as you mentioned, the crowd out of the game. And this crowd here can be very effective. So far, they haven't had that much to cheer about.
Exactly 31 seconds remain in the first half. West Virginia will get the ball back here. It's 4th down. They've got James Jett, who will be back to receive this punt. Pellegrino's only punted once so far today. This will be his 2nd punt of the afternoon. He's a freshman out of Saddlebrook, New Jersey.
Well, they've had trouble in their punting game. They started the season off with a reserve quarterback, Chesner, who was hurt. And they lost him. They struggled for a few weeks, and they finally came up with Pellegrino, and he's been doing it in recent weeks for Rutgers.
A lot of blue and gold shirts on the line. Look out. Pellegrino gets it off. It's a low kick. Bouncing, and James Jett picks it up on the run. Far side. He's heading for the sideline and stops that clock. He's out at about the 31-yard line. 11-yard return on the 44-yard punt. 21 seconds remain. Major Harris got to move that ball almost 70 yards for a touchdown. We'll see what happens here. 21 seconds to go.
21 seconds to go. West Virginia still has 2 timeouts remaining. They can work the timeouts and the clock. They can't get a score. They can get a chance perhaps at 3.
All right. Simple setback. That is Rico Tyler, the fullback. As Major Harris, the straight drop. Zips it. Incomplete. That ball intended, I think, for Greg Dykes.
It was for Greg Dykes, who came down and was running deep in the seam. He was open right away, but Major Harris put the ball behind him. Threw the ball behind him. Never had a chance at it.
15 seconds to go on 2nd and 10. Fedorko has dropped a couple of balls. Flanked up top. Harris will run. 30, 35, 40. Make it to 45. Up close to midfield where he's brought down by Sean Williams. There's 5 seconds. Make it 6 seconds to go. The clock is stopped with the timeout. Pickup of 18 yards. And of course, that's the thing that Major Harris is famous for.
He scrambled that time, got big yardage. He's coming over to talk to Don Nealon right here. Watch this. He first comes out. Look where he lines up. He lines up behind Wolfley, number 64, before he realizes he's in the wrong position. Whoops. Hey.
That's great.
Good camera work, man. But then he makes up for it. And watch this action. This is where he's great in the open field. Look at people falling down, trying to make tackles on him.
There's nobody who can do that in college football as well as Major Harris. There's no debating that point. So Harris and Don Nealon huddle on the West Virginia sideline. 83 yards on the day on the ground for Major Harris. Of course, he picked up 59 of those yards in one fell swoop as he ran for touchdown in that first quarter.
Well, Don Nealon is quoted as saying he's got a cannon for an arm, and you might see that cannon take off right here.
6 seconds, all that remain here in the first half. See what kind of a play Major Harris. They got 2 receivers up top. Dykes and Fedorko. Rembrandt to the near side. I keep my eye on number 88. He's going long, and he's just going to toss this baby to the end zone. Rembrandt at about the 8-yard line, and he does not come up with it. Aaron Sellers does as the clock kicks down to 0. There was a flag way back at the 40-yard line.
There was a flag thrown immediately, and the flag, a penalty should have against West Virginia would have been holding. There it is. But that's the end of the quarter, and they're going to refuse the penalty, I would think, and that's the end of the half.
Holding, offense, decline. That's the half.
But Don Nealon trying to pump up his players as he heads to the locker room here. And we see the last play one more time as Major just kind of fires it up there, looking for a miracle here with Reggie Rembert at about the 10.
Well, that's the kind of miracle that's happened often here. And watch Rembert get up and extend himself here, but as he tries to pull it down, they pull it away from him.
Even if he brought it down, the half would have been over right there.
But a surprising first half.
Very surprising first half at Mountaineer Field, Morgantown, West Virginia, where the Rutgers Scarlet Knights have a 3-point lead on 19th ranked West Virginia. At halftime, trying to get him juiced up here for the second 30 minutes. Not going to be run out. Carl Hayes says, hey, keep it right here. So Major Harris and company will start out on their own 20-yard line. And, you know, last week, Major fought a lot of abuse for the fumbles. He had some fumbles at critical moments. He told us the other day, he said, hey, I make mistakes. I blew the game. I'm responsible, and that's just the way it goes. You got to go on from that. As you can see, his yardage, total offense yardage, 253 a game, which is rather spectacular. But one of the Penn State players, Mark D'Onofrio, afterwards said you could probably get a highlight film of his bad play, and that's very true. And when it doesn't go well, Major Harris can look spectacular. 17-14, West Virginia down at field goal. That's Jared Ford trying to dance a little bit, but Rutgers defense is up to the task. That is John Blanton.
Made the hit on the corner that time. They tried to kick the ball outside. He never got to the corner. Rutgers coming up quick to really do a good job against the running game so far today. Of course, West Virginia hasn't had the football that much when they've had big plays. But here we go. Starting right off, 2nd and long for Major Harris.
2nd and 9. Just beginning the second half. Major Harris over the middle. He's got his tight end, Adrian Moss, who just bowls over the 30. First down yardage for West Virginia, and you can see the fans coming to life a little bit.
And that's what makes it so hard on you, the defensive team. You know they got Rembert, you know they got Dice and Jet, the wide receiver, but there's also Adrian Moore at 6'5", 255. He comes over the middle, he just dumps the ball to him, and then he falls forward. He really is an outstanding receiver. All kinds of weapons.
First down, West Virginia. Garrett Ford trying to sweep it. Good pursuit from Ron Allen, the cornerback. He takes him out at about the 34-yard line. Gain of about 2 for Ford.
Just to keep him honest out there, number 93 again, Elnardo Webster doing a good job from his outside linebacker position, stringing that play out and giving his cornerback the chance to come up. You know, very interesting about this football game, we haven't had many penalties. We've had a lot of sustained drives, very few penalties, which has kept the ball in play and kept Rutgers in the ball game.
2nd and 8. Lost in motion. Little draw play, the fake anyway. Major Harris sees some room, and there he goes. 40-45 across midfield. The dancing machine getting it done here. That was Mike Bouchard, who finally tracks him down. 17-yard gain for Harris. We'll take a look at it one more time, but this is where he shows his natural talent.
He just waits in there. Now he sees the opening on the left side between the defensive tackle and the outside linebacker, and he just takes off. Webster came up too wide on that, but they're so conscious in containing him, and the official there is protecting him. So
get away. 100 yards on the day. One easy for Major Harris. Major was very easy, wasn't it? This time a delay. Ford. Good wraparound tackle there, John Blanton. But Ford gets it up to the 45-yard line. You know, Major Harris talks about the fact that he has an advantage, he thinks, over most quarterbacks because when he was a kid playing so much street ball in the streets of Pittsburgh, he felt like he developed all these scrambling skills. He says, whenever I make a run now, those plays all kind of flash back to me. I've done them all before. Moss in motion. Maybe we'll see one here. Harris just throws it out. A bad decision, but somehow Ford makes the grab on a bounce. Now, how did that happen?
wait a second, you're going to have there's going to be a very interesting call here.
Forward
exact
lateral.
That's exactly what you're going to get. Watch the official here from ground level. Here's the call. Let's listen to the referee, Joe Schur.
Incomplete full pass. It's the next down.
You called it. As he came down the line off the option here, watch this. He makes the fake to the fullback. They're running the freeze option that was famous in Syracuse. As he comes down here, as he pitches the ball, it's a forward pass, not a lateral. Okay. Interesting call. Third down again for Major Harris. As many people say, when it's third and long, a third down, and for Major Harris, usually the defense is in trouble. Well, let's see what he does here this time.
3rd and 6. The Rutgers 45-yard line. And forward in motion. Again, a low ball. It is incomplete, and that was Reggie Rembert trying to gather it in for first down yardage. And Major Harris has been plagued by that all afternoon, Bob.
The stop pattern, he just comes down, knows where the first down markers are, and he turns back to the football. There's Rembert. Watch this. As he drops, he takes a short drop here, sets up, and as he throws that ball, he's just short-arming it, and watch the ball come down into the ground and never has a chance to make the catch, forcing another punt.
Into the end zone, so Rutgers will get the ball back. A 45-yard punt from Greg Herzog, who ranks 16th nationally with a 42.5 average. And Rutgers again on offense when we come back. Backer spot for Ronaldo Turnbull at the moment. Let's set that offensive line again for Rutgers, doing such an outstanding job.
Milano at left tackle, Erda at left guard, Erickson, of course, the center, Cardi and Iris, right guard, right tackle.
The Scarlet Knights will try to keep that ball moving here again as they take it in small chunks. This time a chunk of about 5 yards on the play as Steve Grant comes up to make the hit on Jimmy Can. We understand Mike Body still may come back, injured his ankle in the first half. In fact, he's in the ball game right now.
Give us the body. He's been hurt and chipped up all year, went down with an ankle injury in the second quarter, but he's back in that football game because it's so important all these seniors on the Rutgers side of the football to be a part of this game today.
Single setback with Candace Slot moving now. Ernie across the middle as the tight end, his favorite target today. Scott Blanche up to the 32-yard line. First down for Rutgers. 5th catch on the day, and that's how they're doing it. Nickel and diming him.
Exactly, just so mechanical. And when it's there, he just looks up, straight drop back action. Usually when he sprints, he looks for his wide receiver. When he drops back, he looks for his tight end. There's Blanche in the middle. Just good pass, possession, first down. Keeping that football away from the West Virginia offense.
You keep wondering, though, all this short stuff, at some point they're going to look to grab one in one fell swoop.
They've got to take that chance, right?
That's Pan. He's got some move. And he is up to the 44-yard line, make it the 45. It's Can. Had some room there on the right side. Kept the legs churning.
Good job of blocking by number 57 of the right guard, Nick Erda. He opened up the hole. Jimmy Can got inside, and he made yardage. And you know, when you have a little success and all of a sudden you see things breaking your way, you also build up your confidence. And right now, that's the way this Rutgers offense is playing. They're playing with a lot of confidence, and Jimmy Can is running the football very, very effectively.
He's got 78 yards on the day. That one good for 13 yards and another Rutgers first down. That was Mike Body. Listen to the line for a couple yards. And you're right, that confidence weaves on itself.
Well, they came in here knowing that probably a lot of people never gave him a shot today. And they got a few breaks early. They did some things offensively they'd hoped to do. As we look at Chris Herring, the senior linebacker out of Pueblo, Colorado, he calls the plays. He's the mainstay. He's the real heart and soul of that defensive squad. But they've got to come up with some big plays defensively now. They've got to stop this attack and get it back to their offense in good field position.
2nd and 8. Sprint. Brockman chasing Ernie. He flips it out for Melton. Too high. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Good job of coverage that time. Darren Fulton on the corner was right there. So was Herring coming from the linebacker position. They really had the receivers covered and had enough pressure on Scott Ernie that he really didn't have an option.
Wow. 57 plays compared to 32 so far today.
Okay, 3rd down and 8 for Scott Ernie.
And here are the fans getting up for this play. first to hand across midfield. He's got the first down and then some. 40-35, finally driven out by number 19, Timmy Newsom. Big gainer for Can.
Big play for Rutgers. Hasn't shown that very often. That time came up with a single back, had Can in the slot, and they ran a counter and brought him all the way back across the formation. Look at this. As he gets on the corner, he's got time to not only get the first down, but to put some more yardage on it. Rutgers controlling the ball here, mainly with the run.
So Jimmy Can having a superb afternoon. Senior out of West Nyack. That was a 19-yard game. And the Scarlet Knights are on the 34-yard line of West Virginia. Continue to drive the football. And again, this is Henry inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. You see a flag thrown. A little fisticuffs in there, and that was good frustration. Scott Summit had it going a little bit in there with Bill Milano. Scott Summit's the defensive tackle there. A little extracurricular activity, a little push, a little shove there. And the call's going to be again against West Virginia, I believe. And that's the frustration. That's the frustration that's setting in a little bit with this defensive team. That time he went after Milano. He got seen for it.
Dead ball foul, personal foul, defense.
That hurts.
15 yards, first down.
That hurts. Can't lose your poise now. Don't give him that chance because Rutgers is controlling the situation. You can't afford to give him a bigger advantage. And Don Nealon knows it. Got to get himself on track. He knows he's got to get these guys working a little bit.
Penalty yardage gives Rutgers a 1st and 10 on the 14-yard line. The pitch to Henderson. Tries to cut it back in the middle, but he's not going anywhere.
That time they brought Travis Broadbent in at tight end along with Blanche. So they had two tight ends that could run effectively to either side. They ran a sweep back into the sideline with Henderson. Now in to give James Can a little chance to get a breather. As he comes in here, he spins forward. He picks up about 3 yards.
Ball on the 11 now.
A little face mask action, but didn't call it.
Our camera caught it, but that's about all. Senior out of Akron, Ohio, has been banged up so much back in 87. He rushed for 134 yards against West Virginia. Jackson in motion, the kid. That is Mike Foddy, who is stacked up immediately. Gets a yard in that. Mike Fox, 6'6", 288 senior. Also out of Akron, Ohio.
Tough for Body with his ankles to make that cut. And, of course, Fox made the play, as you called it, closed down. But you got to get quickness to get in there against that defensive line of Fox and the nose tackle, Jim Gray.
Fox, Dick Anderson calls him as good a defensive lineman as there is in the East. He leads West Virginia with 8 sacks on the afternoon. But here we go, 3rd and 6 from the 10. Melton in motion. Ernie. They'll give it to Can. That counter again. Tries to pound it up, and he is met by Chris Herring. Let's see, is it good? Looks like it is. There's a flag down at about the 13-yard line as he was stopped short of first down yardage by about 2 yards. We'll see what the call is.
Flag probably goes against Rutgers. He came early, so you knew it probably was some kind of movement or motion penalty.
Discussing it with the West Virginia.
Interesting call here because they stopped him short of a first down, which would force a fourth down, which may force a field goal. Do they give him another 3rd down opportunity? Don Nealon will make that call. He's probably made it already.
Illegal motion, offense, decline,
okay.
4th down.
Sets up the 4th down. It should bring on the field goal unit, you would assume.
You called it.
As Ernie trots off and Giesler comes on. Giesler hit a field goal earlier for 26 yards. He was 11 for 11 on the year. Longest for the season, 50 yards. On his career now, 25 of 32. This will be a 24-yard field goal. And he gets it. So Giesler comes through again. And that gives Rutgers a 20-14 lead. Just over 8 minutes to go in the 3rd, and the Scarlet Knights keep it coming. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Over the past few years, a battalion of strangely equipped individuals has been roaming the American workplace, testing the air for substances that shouldn't be there, things that might make people sick, and insurance premiums skyrocket. Now, some find Aetna's approach a little unexpected.
Sorry, excuse me.
But when was the last time your insurance company did anything more surprising than mail you a bill?
The Jeep Cherokee 4x4. Now, to make it more like S10 Blazer and Bronco 2, we'll have to make some slight modifications. We'll remove 2 of our 4 doors, eliminate 1 of our passenger seats, drain the power on a Cherokee's engine, and we'll drop our full-time 4-wheel drive. Now Cherokee's to the same level as Ford and Chevy. But why would you want that? You can get all this.
See your Tri-State Jeep Eagle dealer where you can always expect the best.
Long ago, in this Bell Atlantic neighborhood, you could hear Brahms every afternoon, played by a little girl just a telephone call away from fame. A call that introduced us all to the glorious voice of Roberta Flack. The people of Bell Atlantic have always answered the call for Roberta and for you.
This graphic displays what Scott Ernie has done so far today. Really spread it around pretty good, but the surprising element is the way the tight end Scott Blanche has played such an important role today. Came in with, what, 3 catches all year?
3 catches all year for a total of 35 yards. He's got 38 yards in this game on 5 catches. Now, that's not a lot of yardage, but it was crucial yardage, which led to first downs every time they looked for him.
The Scarlet Knights with a 6-point lead, kicking off. Jett and Hayes to receive. And that is Hayes. Gets to the 20, and he is driven out of bounds there. That was number 2, Glenn Miller over there to knock him out. So once again, Major Harris will come on, and they just haven't had that spark, have they, Bob?
They haven't. They're missing something. We expected them to bounce back because it was a tough loss last week at Penn State. They played well, but they put the ball on the ground and lost the football game really because of that. But they know how important this game is. Don Nealon talked about it, to keep the drive going, to hope they can get some attention nationally and get back in their bowl situation. But so far, it's very ineffective.
7 bowl representatives up here in the stands taking a look. That's Garrett Ford, who weaves his way up close to the 25-yard line. They've got people from the Citrus Bowl, the Gator, the Hall of Fame, the Peach, the Liberty, the Holiday, even the Cotton Bowl here today. And of course, Major Harris is the major attraction for these folks.
Absolutely. He not only brings the attention of the fans, but he brings the attention of television and everything that goes with it. He's the name.
7:35 to go in the third. 2nd and 7. Dumps it off to Ford. Good defensive pursuit there as Ford is wrapped up behind the line. Joe Savoy and Pete Kafitzis in there.
Kafitzis the sophomore out of Clifton, New Jersey, who plays at the nose tackle position, and they've had to play him because of injuries there to Marty Mays. He came out from that position and was on that little flip screen, that little swing pattern out to the flat, and when he made his cutback, Kafitzis made the hit.
Number 74 right there in your picture, Pete Kafitzis. Sophomore, Marty Mays, has been banged up, the regular nose tackle with ankle and knee injuries. Here on 3rd down, Major will try to run, and he has got some yardage. The first down, and about 8 more as Major Harris squirms up to about the 43 at the 22-yard game. He can do that all day on it.
And he is so quick, and he sees it so fast, and he reacts so quickly. Watch this. He sets up 4-man rush. All of a sudden, he sees the opening. He knows what he's got to make out of it, and the rest is history. Look at this maneuvering. Amazing.
First down, 43-yard line. Draw play, Ford, an opening across midfield, down to the 47-yard line. Vaughn McCoy there to make the stop. Looks like another first down.
Good job of blocking. The right tackle, Matt Ratcher, opened up the hole. First time that Ford really had a chance to run effectively inside. Good yardage. And that offensive line, you noted they were veterans. They've been around. They've got to go to work here and dig in because they've got the ability to open up some holes for these backs.
With the Mountaineers trying to gain some momentum here. Ford again. Kind of dives forward up to about the 41-yard line where he is brought down by Joe Savoy.
What happens defensively against a team like West Virginia and Major Harris is you start to be so conscious of them, you forget about those running backs. Harris makes the play, gets him off the hook, makes the first down. Now all of a sudden, you start to see the tailback coming in. As we look at Jeff Price, another important member of that offense, that center position. He's a senior out of Inkster, Michigan. 6 foot 265.
An experienced group, although none started last year for this club, and that was a major concern in the summer.
True, but they all got experience because they were such a good football team last year. They got a chance to play some of these down the line. So although they didn't have all the time, they did have enough experience that they felt they knew what they could do. And as we look at Ed Toner scoring for Boston College to put them up 21-14 against Army in the third period.
2nd and 3. That's the fullback Tyler, but he is stuck at the line by a host of Rutgers tacklers, including Mike Bouchard and Joe Savoy. So Tyler not going to get the first down there. Sets up a big third down play for West Virginia. Now talking about that offensive line now, Dale Wolfley, the right guard, talking about Major Harris. Says, now it's great because he can run from anywhere on the field, but at the same time it's not so great because we got to move around and block for him.
Bootleg.
He'll take it, and I don't know. Was he stopped there? Very close.
Very close.
Aaron Sellers who came up.
That was a big play by Sellers in the open field. He did not go with the fake, and he made the hit.
At one time, Major's magic was unsuccessful as the senior out of North Arlington, New Jersey, makes a major play.
He came off the bootleg pass. He was going to throw the ball. Sellers stayed right there and made the hit, and he's forced him into a 4th down, very short yardage. You know, in this situation, they're going to go for it. They're in the 4-down zone right now. But they've taken time out to come over and talk it over. And here comes Major Harris to talk with Don Nealon.
They're less than a yard away.
Defensively, that's Vaughn McCoy. You just saw the safety, the senior safety for Rutgers, over talking with the defensive coaches on the Rutgers sideline. But here's where it's being done, right here. So the scheming and the planning goes on here. Tough situation to be in. 4th down and about a yard to go. Ball sitting inside the 35-yard, inside the 40-yard line of Rutgers.
Talking to Don Nealon yesterday, he said, our guys know what's at stake here. He says, if we lose this game, I'm not to tell them. They read the papers. They know what's going on. We lose today, get upset, forget about it, Paul. It's not going to happen. They know that.
And that's tough to take because West Virginia's program has gained such recognition in recent years. They've gone to major bowls. They've played well. They've had national rankings. It's been a tough season for them. They expected to be very decent. They've played hard, but they've been upset along the way.
And it's so hard to come back off the year they had last season. I mean, undefeated through the regular campaign. They go to play the national championship game in the Fiesta Bowl against Notre Dame. I mean, how do you build on that? They came in, only 2 offensive starters returned in Reggie Rembert and Major Harris. They lost 6 of the top 10 guys on defense. They lost their kicker. They lost their punter.
But they didn't lose that guy, and here they are, 4th and 1. The ball's sitting on the 38-yard line. And the crowd is in the game.
Backs in the eye. Ford and Tyler. 1 yard is all they need, and they'll give it to Harris on the option. He's going to keep, and he's going to be stuck behind the line of scrimmage. Way back at midfield, that is Udovich and Webster.
What a big play for Rutgers. I mean, they just came out. He sprinted on the corner. It was an option, pass or run. They got up in his face. But the big thing is they never gave him a chance to release the football. 93, Elnardo Webster, the junior who's come along and played a lot more as the season progressed. He really stuffed him. Watch this play. Sprint out all the way. He's looking for Rembert as a single receiver. As they stretch it out, look at Webster come inside out. They get up in his face along with Udovich. Big play for the defense. Big play.
I can't imagine a bigger play this year for Rutgers defensively than that one. So Rutgers takes over on downs at their own 45-yard line. Major Harris cannot get the job done. Ronaldo turned out. Jimmy Can stopped there. Jim Gray made the hit.
Okay, Rutgers with the ball up over the 45-yard line. They can go back into that offense that they've been working on, running the football early down, short passing game.
Jimmy Can now on the day, 27 carries, 109 yards. He came in for the season with just over 300. Best afternoon of the season. 2nd and 9. Ernie firing. Complete pass, and that is Can. No, it isn't. It's not good. As Wilson is there to knock it away.
Good play by Wilson, the cornerback, coming up, playing him hard here. Look at this as he looks in. The tight end he looked for right away. He was covered that time, but as he hit him, he dropped the football and he ruled it incomplete. It could have been almost the other way, a fumble.
Very close. 2 scores. Boston College looking for their 2nd victory on the season, up a touchdown. Duke leading NC State in the 3rd. Florida up on Georgia at the half. Virginia easily. This is a 3rd down play. Ernie's ball is tipped in the air, incomplete. And the West Virginia Mountaineers, off this defensive hold, are fired up. That was Jim Gray who got his paw in the way.
And it's down on the ground is number 73, the right guard, Steve Tardy for Rutgers. He was injured on the play. This drop back action as he sets up the look here. He's looking for his tight end. There's number 73 up in his face, and that's Scott Summit, the defensive tackle. Jim Gray also, but a big job of the defense. Coming alive a little bit on this drive.
Actually, it was Summit, who's 6'3", 282, a senior out of Davidsville, Pennsylvania, who got his hand on that football.
Tardy is a veteran again, one of the veterans in that offensive line. He was hurt in preseason practice, did not play in the first 3 games of the season, came back, and when he did come back, he gave him size and experience. He's 6'5", 273, a senior out of Belmead, New Jersey. He can ill afford to lose him at this time. There he is.
Been their most consistent lineman since returning to the starting alignment in that 3rd game. About halfway through that 3rd game, as a matter of fact. 3:49 to go here in the 3rd.
Looks like it's either a hand or a wrist injury, but he's hanging in there tough.
So West Virginia trying to get energized, and the defense coming up with some big plays here. Got the crowd back into it a little bit, and with an injury like this, it kind of puts a halt to that. That feeling of accomplishment, maybe.
Okay, Rutgers has got to punt the football here, and they've been doing a good job with the punting game.
Pellegrino, the freshman, is on. Named Jet. Trying to bring it back to West Virginia. Rutgers up by 6 points. Rush there, but he gets it off. Jet at the 17-yard line. Escapes, but then from behind, that is Udovich, who tackles him at about the 22-yard line. So a 37-yard punt, a 4-yard return. It's cloudy in Morgantown in more ways than one at the moment.
Kids that go to school here, that's for sure. They got quite a few of them on this football team.
Yeah, including Eugene Bowling, sailback from Jersey City, New Jersey. This time, though, Garrett Ford gets the call. He's ball game, gets a nice block left side from Rico Tyler, and he moves it up to the 35. First down. Rutgers a big gainer for Ford. 14 yards. Sean Williams finally caught up with him.
He got out on the corner that time, and he found the opening, and he's got the speed. He's very deceptive for his size. At 6'2", 223. Look at him look to find the hole, and eventually he gets out. And he makes the play, and a good block by Rico Tyler, the fullback.
3:26 to go in the 3rd quarter, and Rutgers leads by 6 points. Major Harris in trouble, fires to Ford, who gathers it in at about the 40-yard line. So Harris, who was a millisecond away from going down, just does release it in time. And a gain of about 5.
He was looking to go deep. He's looking, and Rutgers doing a better job on Reggie Rembert, Dyke, and also the tight end. That time, he finally looked and found his back and delivered the football to Garrett Ford.
It'll be a 2nd and 5 now. We mentioned Reggie Rembert. He has been quiet. Only had 2 catches all day. Ford trying to sweep the right side. He does so successfully for the first down up to the 47-yard line. So first down for West Virginia. Darren Sellers is there to drive him out.
He was an exciting young back, Garrett Ford. Very deceptive. Watch him on this. He's, again, as he runs on this, he's looking to find an opening. He's stretching out, but he's got enough speed now to turn it on the corner and get outside of Ron Allen, number 1, the cornerback, and make yardage out of it.
Big kid, too. 6'1", 223. Got some speed and some power. Harris takes the option now, letting it loose, going for 6, but overshoots his man, Reggie Rembert. The fans want interference call, but it's not going to come.
It might have come, but the ball was really thrown so that he never had a chance to make the catch. But when you look at this play, look at how important. They had 3 men covering Reggie Rembert that time. 3 of the defenders. Here's the tactic. In order to do the job on Major Harris, that's what they had to do.
And to contain Major Harris, establish the run, and have a good game for Ernie. They've been pretty successful, especially on number 2 and 3. And although Major Harris does have 226 yardage, in total yardage rather, he's not been dominant today. Major Harris again wants to pass, but he'll use his legs and leaping and hurdling his way to the 38-yard line. First down, West Virginia. Bouchard finally trips him up. That was a gain of 14. And you sense this stadium wants something to cheer about. They got a little bit right now to stand up and yell about.
So hard to keep him. The 4 guys are trying to defend with 7, rush with 4, keep him in containment. But the line does a great job of blocking. Just gives him a little inch in an alleyway, and he turns it on. Exciting.
2:10 to go. Third period. West Virginia on the draw. That's Garrett Ford, but a good defensive play, but a flag there. Vaughn McCoy drags him down about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. A flag, though, on the far side near the Rutgers bench.
It's going to go against Rutgers. It was an early flag, and here it goes. Ricky Anderson, of course, not happy about it. Let's listen to the official search as he tells you what it's all about.
There was a substitution. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Go first down.
Late legal substitution. Didn't get on the field in time.
Exactly.
That's worth 5 yards.
That hurts because they got for a loss on the play. It turns the other way around.
Defensive play is negated there. So it's 1st and 5. Good as a 5-yard run. Ford and Scarlet. Ford gets the call. Trying to push it over to 30 and does so. Down to the 28-yard line. John Blanton up from the cornerback spot to make the first hit.
Big job of blocking by Jack Lynn, the tackle. Parker, the guard. Referee's going to call a timeout here to take a measurement.
Very close again. West Virginia trying to even this ball game up. First down. First down, West Virginia. Garrett Ford having a fine day, 11 carries, 63 yards. He's had 53 of those yards here in the second half.
Yeah, he's coming alive in the second half, starting to find his way, getting his holes, and really getting on the corner and making big yardage in crucial situations for him.
Big surprise, though, is how Reggie Rembert has been shut down entirely since the very first quarter. Garrett Ford tries to cut back, and he's hit by Bouchard again, making his presence known. 6'1" senior out of Harlan, New Jersey.
Bouchard has stepped in there because of the injury to Bob Spidell. He's a junior college transfer. They like him a lot. Oh, there's an interesting one. Maryland, the 3rd period. Holding Penn State to only 3. 7-3 in Syracuse, way in front of Navy. 17-3 in the second quarter.
2nd and 8. Temple trying to win for the first time today. Oh, play action. Harris in trouble. Will he run? No, he throws, and he's got Dyke at the 10-yard line. And he's met immediately. Von McCoy gets him at about the 12, 15-yard pickup.
He initially was looking for Rembert in the end zone. He got covered. Then he had a little pressure on him, but he never lost his footing, and he waited, and somebody always comes open. The threat of Major Harris with the football is what happens. There's Rembert. He's being heavily covered in the end zone by number 22. That's number 37, Sellers, the strong safety.
First down, West Virginia. In zone, Rembert. Yes. Harris finally found him again. Reggie Rembert, invisible for more than 2 quarters.
That's the fade pattern. They run it so well. Again, they pick Rembert at 6'6" against Ron Allen at 5'7", and he just puts it up on the outside. Watch the pass, 2-step drop. There's the combination. He just reaches out, catches the ball, keeps his feet in bounds. You can't do it any better. It's easy.
First catch for Rembert since that first quarter. But it's an important one as West Virginia retakes the lead on the extra point. 21-20 Mountaineers. 17 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Harris puts it right on the outside. What a weapon. There you go. 9 plays. They came back quickly. And there's Rembert. Great target. Great control. Puts a lot of pressure on you. And when he had to, Major Harris came through. That drive, he was responsible. He scrambled, made the plays he had to make for the first time. Finally put the pass right in the corner of the end zone to Rembert for the score.
So Reggie Rembert, only his third catch on the day, but all of them have been important. 2 of them have been for touchdowns, and the very first one was that 59-yard grab back in the first quarter that set up that first touchdown reception. Henry Henderson, look at him scramble up past the 30-yard line to the 32. 28-yard return there for Henry. And Rutgers back on offense. We only have 12 seconds to go here in the third.
Crowd getting into the game, getting behind the defense now. Back in the ball game is Ronaldo Turnbull on the outside linebacker position. We match up Lonnie Brockman on the other side. Those 2 guys have been very active along with Summit, Gray at the nose tackle, and Mike Fox at the defensive left tackle position.
Melton in motion. McQueen pushing it forward to about the 37-yard line. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Time is out. Rutgers a point behind here. They're going after their 3rd win of the year in beautiful Morgantown. Back with the final 15 minutes after a word from your local station. Leaders have been a whole heck of a lot to cheer about this afternoon. Split backfield. Rutgers on their own 33. Henderson in motion. They give to Can. He's got a block in front of him. He is met by Darren Fulton at the 43-yard line, but I believe he made first down yardage.
Interesting how they're trying to get outside. It's so difficult for them to get on the corner without a real blocking tight end. That time they used motion. And watch, Henry Henderson is the guy that makes the block for him and gives him a chance to get outside, and that's the chance to get the first down.
And they've got it. First down on their own 44-yard line. An amazing stat today. Ernie's been sacked exactly once. And this against a team that came in with 29 sacks on the year. Bonnie with that bad ankle, able to bulldoze his way forward for a good 3.
Another interesting stat, too, is that in the secondary for West Virginia, as we look at Ernie compared to Harris, the big thing is, of course, Major Harris delivers the touchdown. But the interesting stat is that there's 12 interceptions that come from the secondary of West Virginia this year. Rutgers has only got 3 interceptions, and Scott Ernie has been intercepted coming into this football game. He's been intercepted 14 times. Today, he's been really very careful about his passing.
Very, very safe passes. He's never really made a bad decision all day. Pressure, big pressure to Ron Ellis, and there's the sack we hadn't seen. Only the second one all day, way back on the 33.
And it was perfectly called to the right side of the formation. He came out, put the formation to the field, and they blipped. They brought the inside linebacker, 66, right over the right guard, between the right guard and the right tackle, unblocked. He never had a chance. That's the kind of big play that the defense has to make. They haven't done much of it today, but they're starting to come on strong now.
9-yard loss. Big play for Theron Ellis. On that Darth Vader like mad. Sets up a 3rd and 16 now. Kind of jacks everybody up here a little bit.
I think he was a little bit shaken by that. Scott Ernie called a timeout here. He wants to go over and discuss this with the sideline.
So as Ernie Anderson and company discuss strategy, we've got 13:05 to go. We'll take a break as well. 15, interestingly enough, he hasn't completed a pass today longer than 13 yards. See if they can do it here. 3-man rush, lets it rip, and he does it to Gary Melton up to the 40-yard line, and Ernie continues to come through. First down.
What a day he's had, and that time he waited for Melton to come over on an in pattern, 22 yards. Watch this. He drops back. They only rush with 4. They decide to put pressure with 4, gives him a chance. Beautiful protection. Melton coming across the middle makes the catch and gets the first down.
Melton's 4th catch on the afternoon. So whatever Ernie's been asked to do today, he seems to be able to come through. We've got 12:43 to go. Rutgers trails by a point. They're on the West Virginia 40. Pitch back, and struggle. Turnbull hits him there. At the line along with Jim Gray, the big sophomore out of West Mifflin, Pennsylvania.
James Cann has had a fine day running the football today. He is also, as we noted earlier, a fine receiver. But he's been carrying the heavy duty because of Mike Body's injury. Cann in the deep back position has carried the football. He's done an excellent job.
He's also an excellent baseball player. Outfielder for the Rutgers baseball team. Could even play spring ball because of it. I haven't heard of much. Spin out, little toss here to Cann. Boy, he is hit in an instant by Theron Ellis. It's a big-time lick at about the 38-yard line.
And Theron Ellis is a big-time player. He comes up with the big plays. He's mobile. We saw him pass rush. Watch him come in here. Little short pass, get the ball in the flat. Ellis from the inside comes out and makes the hit. 6'1", 243. Not bad size for an inside linebacker who can run.
Kind of scary looking with that Darth Vader-like mask he wears right there. The sun coming out a little bit here in Morgantown. It's 3rd and 8. Preston and Ernie come through again. Look out for Ellis. Gets it off and completes it to Body. Incomplete. Incomplete is the ruling. Body says no way. They still would have been short of the first down by a couple.
Okay. Interesting situation.
Let's see if we can pick it up here, make our own decision on this play.
Watch Body, number 31. He slips out from the tailback position. He slips out into the flat. There's a lot of pressure. Ernie does well to get it off. Hey, that looks close. Maybe as he rolled over, it hit the ground. The official was a lot closer.
Body disappointed. He is convinced. He's convinced he made that catch. But again, they would have been short by a couple yards. Whitmore is back to receive on the punt. Pellegrini will try to kind of pooch it in here. It's a short kick, just what they wanted, inside the 10 at the 5-yard line, where it's down there by number 23, John Blanton. The West Virginia in a deep hole. They've got a 1-point lead. 33-yard punt. Excellent job. West Virginia on offense after a word from your local team. In their own territory, worst field position of the day. Mike Bouchard comes up with a stop on Garrett Ford, West Virginia, with a 1-point lead here.
1-point lead. Don't want to have any mistakes down in this territory.
Major Harris, a couple of touchdown tosses to Reggie Rempert, both, as it turns out, from 11 yards out. He also ran one in from 59 yards out. Those have been the 3 West Virginia scoring plays so far. This time it's Tyler. He kind of walks the tightrope straight ahead there. And gets the first down, it appears.
Good job in the offensive line. Jack Lynn, Mike Compton playing at center now for Jeff Price. He went out with an injury early in the third period. Open up the hole, gave him a chance to cut back. He's very close to a first down. Rutgers got to dig in on defense now. Not let him march and take time off that clock. Try to get the ball back to their offense. Especially in decent field position.
And he's short. 3 or 4 inches, no more than that. So it's 3rd and 1. Dick Anderson. Stay with it, guys. Stay with it. Rutgers coming up with what has to be the #1 performance of the year. Rico Tyler spins off one hit and makes the first down. That was Udovich, I believe, who popped him initially. First down.
Udovich has been in this ball game throughout as he's been throughout his career. The senior, one of the captains on this team, leading tackler, filling in at inside linebacker position, and he's made a lot of big hits for him.
Brian Lowe just did a field goal as the Eagles go up 24-17 on Army. Just 2 minutes and some seconds to go. Major Harris brought down behind the line. That's Big Joe Savoy making the sack.
Joe Savoy, he's a defensive tackle they like on the run situations, the early down situations. Not a great pass rusher, so they substitute for him. But he's very strong against the run. That time he just pulled over the left side, ran over Jack Lynn, the tackle, and made the hit.
Second down and 15 after the loss. Three-man rush. Major, lots of daylight. Good move up to the 25-yard line. He is shy of first down yardage by about 2. 12-yard gain.
Good job by the offensive line, though. The offensive line, as you see here, they protect for him well. Look at him steer 99 Miller to the outside. That opens up the seam, gives him a chance to find room to scramble, and he sure does. Turns what looked like no play into a gain, and now he's looking at 3rd and 4.
Don't forget to stay tuned at the conclusion of our game today. We'll be selecting a Schick MVP from each team. Harris, incidentally, 139 yards on the ground, 139 yards through the air. Total offense, not a half bad day, 278. We've got 8:44 to go. 9-yard run, and again right now he has a 1-point lead, a big 3rd down play.
He's good on the 3rd down plays, but it's the Major Harris and Scott and 2 quarterbacks today doing a job. And here he goes.
He's got the first down, and he's using his scrambling ability to get it checked out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. First down, West Virginia, 12-yard gain.
Tough situation to be in. 3rd and 4. You know he's got the ability to scramble, yet he may put the ball up. So they rushed with only 4 that time. Never had a chance to contain him. He just tiptoed and got his first down. And he keeps the ball and keeps possession. Starts to take some time off the clock, and we're in the 4th period.
By the way, just got the Notre Dame score. They're up in SMU by a score of 52-6 in the 2nd quarter. Not unexpected, obviously. Make that the 4th quarter. That was Tyler, the fullback, up the gut here. And at this point, you start checking out the clock. 8:26, 8:25 to go. And as you know, so far today anyway, Rutgers on their drives have played control offense. They have not struck quickly. So if they get the ball back here deep in their own territory, it's going to take them some time, more than likely, to pound it out.
More importantly, though, they've got to come up with a big play. They can't afford to let these guys hold on to the football. They may have to take a chance here soon, come after him, take a gamble.
2nd and 6. This is Harris. Will he pitch? Yes. Garrett Ford, but good defensive play there by Darren Sellers.
Great play by Sellers coming from the strong safety position. They stretched out Major Harris on the option. They don't give him a chance here as you watch it to make the cut. Watch, the fake to the fullback going inside. They stretch him out, and by the time he puts it on the corner, watch 37 come from a strong safety position. You can't play it much better than that.
Only a 2-yard gain, so it's 3rd and 5. Good look at Darren, one of the co-captains on this football team. Clock is running, 7:20. Some confusion. Rembert finally stepped up. Harris. Much time as he wants. Will he throw it? He's getting rushed from behind. It dives up, and Ron Allen is there to grab him. A pressure applied there by Udovich. They're short on the first down.
Great job defensively in the secondary. They defended well against Rembert and Jet. Watch this as he puts pressure. He's just rolling out on the corner here, and he's looking upfield. He's looking for 88. That's Rembert. He's also looking for James Jet. They're covered well. Now watch the fill here, and watch number 1 come up in there. We've been talking about him getting beat, Ron Allen. That time he did a great job of tackling.
Here's the punt to the 11-yard line. That is Marshall Roberts. 44-yard punt. His kid Herzog can nail it. 44-yard punt, no return. And you got to hand it to the Rutgers defensive secondary, the way they have applied the coverage today. Major Harris really having a tough time finding his receivers. And the crowd here, 60,000 plus, they want to celebrate, but it's way too early. The Mountaineers only up by a point. And to have connected here for a couple of touchdown passes, as West Virginia has a 1-point lead, 1 touchdown pass for 11 yards in the first quarter, and then here in the second half, another one. That gives West Virginia a 21-20 lead, and now Rutgers with the football, as we suggested a few moments ago, on their own 11-yard line. I think it's a 12-yard line. They got a long way to go here. Got lots of time to do it. 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Scott Ernie, what a day for him. And he finds that tight end who's been open all day long over the middle, Scott Blank.
And he does it on an early down, a running down situation deep in his own territory. He goes the natural route. He looks for the tight end. He's open. He gets to the ball. He picks up about 6 yards.
6th catch of the afternoon for Blanche, who's been Ernie's favorite target. It'll be 2nd and 6, a 4-yard gain for Scott Ernie. He's a kid who didn't even play quarterback in high school until he was a senior. Come a long way. 5:52 to go. He'll throw it again, and he'll complete it again, but drops it. That is Blanche. It's going to be called an incomplete pass.
That time he got too anxious. He knew he had the ball. He was trying to turn and get upfield instead of just keeping possession, and he dropped the football.
Want to remind you the announcers for this game are selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Sport. Broadcast is a copyright presentation, and a use of this broadcast without the express permission of Rutgers University and West Virginia University is prohibited. You can hear the crowd on its feet as Rutgers faces a 3rd and 6, 5:42. A big play, you bet it is. Melton in motion. The sprint. Ernie to run. Tries to sneak through. Gets it up to the 23-yard line. Enough for the first down. And Scott Ernie again comes through.
Exactly. He knew where it was. He came out on the sprint, and he was looking upfield, but he knew he had to get those 4 yards. And watch him with the determination here. There's a big play by Turnbull as he turns him back, not giving him a chance to get on the corner, but he gets the first down and give it to Scott Ernie. He's made it today. He's really done the job.
And he's made the right calls a lot of times when he's had to make the decision between putting the ball up and tucking it and running. He's been very effective on the ground. Again, short pass. That's Jimmy Can across the 30, 31-yard line.
Mixing the plays, you mentioned this time he comes to Can out of the backfield from the slot formation in the flat. He did Can, he did Melton, he did Jackson, he did McQueen, and he's also hit his tight end, Scott Blanche. What balance. If you wanted to write a script, every coach would say this is the way we want to do it. And he's done it today.
4 minutes and 40 seconds to go. If you're thinking about a field goal situation, they've got a kid, Giesler, who can do it. He's hit one from 50 yards this year. Throw play, doesn't work. Stacked up by Warren Silver, freshman out of Brownsville, PA.
Doesn't work because it took too much time to develop, and West Virginia's just too quick in that defensive line to make it happen. Okay, here's another crucial. We keep talking about the overused word crucial. Here it is, 3rd down and 3. Another one for Scott Ernie. 4 minutes left in the fourth period, trailing 21-20.
We're under 4 minutes right now. 3rd and 4. The crowd is up. Can Ernie do it again? He'll try to run, but this time Rick Herring is there and drops them at the 29-yard line. Rutgers 4 yards short. Jimmy Gray and Chris Herring. And there's Gray celebrating as he comes to the sideline.
Watch the play. Straight drop back. Good pressure up in his hands. Herring made the play. Gray and Herring, but Herring got up with his hands, which forced Ernie to pull the ball down and try and run with it. And then he came off of that and made the hit. Can't do it any better. Forcing the punt.
So West Virginia's defense stops Rutgers when they have to. Here's the punt now. Guy high.
It hit somebody.
Hit somebody who's got the football. Is it a live ball at the 28-yard line? And it'll go to Rutgers. That ball bounced off a West Virginia player. It was a live ball, anybody's ball, and Rutgers had recovered, and what a break here.
What a break is right, and what happened, the ball was kicked short, and they lost sight of it. You always look back for the football. That's exactly what Nealon is saying right there. He cannot believe that could happen. You always look back to find it. The ball was kicked short, hit a player, and Rutgers got a big break by recovering. Let's see if we can pick it up here. Here's the punt. That's who it hits right there on about the 40-yard line, and that's number 42.
Basil Proctor. That's Proctor, the big safety. Bounced off him. He had no idea it was coming down.
The recovery was made by number 95, Mike Conlon.
And Don Nealon, as you can tell, is beside himself. New life for Rutgers. They picked up about 35 yards on that sequence. And this is Jimmy Camp trying to turn that corner. That's Turnbull over there. Help from Herring and from Whitmore.
Very tough situation to try and get wide against these guys. You got to look to make it, cut back, and get some yardage. That time, he made the wrong choice, but he's made the right choice most of the time today. That's Jimmy Camp.
2:37 to go. 2:36 to go. And what a monstrously huge play. A fumble there, as it will be ruled by West Virginia. The ball goes over to Rutgers here on the 31-yard line. 2:22 to go now. And don't forget, you got a guy, Kiesler, sitting there who can pop it from 50 yards out. He gets it off. Ernie does, but it's incomplete. That ball intended for Melton, and Whitmore is all over.
They took the chance, and they brought Drumgoole from the strong safety position, number 25, and he got right up in the face of Ernie. Watch this. You'll see him appear. There he is inside, and he's forced to play. When they've taken the strong safety and they put pressure on Ernie, they've created that. Here it is. 3rd down. The ball sitting on the 31-yard line. 3rd down and 11.
3rd and 11. This is it, folks. We don't have to tell the 60,000 plus what this play is all about. Draw play, body to the 24-yard line. Make it the 23-yard line. Good call. Deron Ellis makes the stop.
Great call. A little counter action from that set. They sprinted one way and handed back to Body, got the ball inside, and basically they were setting up for this field goal.
But that gives them the extra yards they need to give Giesler a good shot at connecting. 4th down, still short. That's Mike Fox, who was down. The outstanding defensive tackle out of Akron, Ohio, the senior.
Everybody you talk to that plays West Virginia talks about this kid, how quick he is, how mobile he is, what an outstanding football player he is. A 3-year starter, Mike Fox. There's Dick Anderson, and he knows this is the greatest opportunity they've had this season, right now, against this ball club playing here in West Virginia.
Giesler on the day, 2 for 2, 26 yards and then 24 yards. He has not missed a field goal attempt all season long.
The interesting thing about this, the timeout for the injury to Fox is almost like taking a timeout and letting the kicker wait.
Sure.
Gained it from here.
Which happens so often, trying to give the guy a little extra time.
The ball is sitting on the left hash mark.
At about the 23-yard line. They'll set up at about the 30, 31.
You can see it all there on Dick Anderson's face. He knows what hangs in the balance right here. As Mike Fox walks off the field, he's getting some assistance, but at least he's walking.
This field goal, if Giesler can make it, gives Rutgers a 23-21 lead with 2 minutes and 2 seconds to go. This will be a 41-yard attempt. Again, he hasn't missed all year long. The place down, the boot isn't long enough. No good. No good. Doug Giesler, the senior out of Hillsboro, New Jersey, unable to connect from 41 yards out. And West Virginia breathing a huge sigh of relief.
And watch the kicker there. And he knew it right away. He knew it right away. He really never got into that kick. He didn't have that real shot at it.
Kind of a line drive trajectory. So West Virginia with a 1-point lead. They have the football with 1 minute 49 seconds to go. And Rutgers, unless the defense can make a big play here, has got a golden opportunity slipped in their hands. Up forward. A little bit of room on the left side, up to the 30-yard line.
Rutgers called the timeout. They're going to play with the clock right now because they had 2 timeouts left. Now they have 1, so they took a timeout. But you notice Ford, when he ran, how he protected the football.
So Dick Anderson at this point needs some help. Don Nealon says, whew. We now pause for a word from your field. Morgantown, West Virginia. That's Doug Giesler, who moments ago missed on a 41-yard attempt. A field goal that would have given Rutgers the lead and maybe the victory. And we'll have a long trip home. Draw play. Ford. Good coverage by the Rutgers defense. The clock ticks down. 132, 131.
They still have a timeout left. They didn't want to use it there because they're in a 3rd down situation here. So if they can hold them, they've got a chance to get the ball back with about a minute left. Here comes the crucial right now. 3rd down and 5. Ball sitting just inside the West Virginia 30-yard line.
If they can make this first down, you can pack it up. If not, Rutgers will indeed get the football one final time. Split back. Major rolling. Great space. Still on his feet. First down to the 40-yard line. So Major Harris comes through on 3rd down. Pat Yudovich finally grabs him. An 11-yard gain. And when you have a man as dangerous as Major Harris, you can never be too sure. We want to give the MVPs for today. And that's not real difficult. It'll be Major Harris for West Virginia. And Scott Ernie for Rutgers University. Ernie 18 of 31, 152 yards. A tremendous job controlling his team today. And Major Harris threw for 139 yards. And on the ground, 165 yards.
165 important yards, just like that last play. When he had to, he came up with it. In the second half, he had to put it together. He made the key play to get him upfield to get the winning drive.
165 yards rushing is
Rutgers, the last timeout.
Timeout being taken here with 23 seconds to go. But West Virginia the first down and the football. And this one is all over. But with 165 yards, as I was saying, that is the #1 rushing output for Major on the season.
Great effort by Rutgers today, and Scott Ernie. They did everything they could to win this football game, but in the end, when they had to, Major Harris came through, made the big plays, and got him in for the score.
Such a weapon. Dick Anderson, even though they'll go home today with a loss, a magnificent effort.
This is a tough place to play. He knows that. They've never had success here before, but anybody who comes in here knows how tough it is. And Rutgers played it tough. West Virginia being in this situation, they had to come back. And as we mentioned early in this broadcast, they had to win this ball game to keep alive this season and their future hopes to get into a bowl. And they've done it, and they have.
They sure have. And there's a man who goes down to one knee, who's made it happen all day long when he had to, both on the ground and through the air. Major Harris, the Heisman Trophy candidate. And the clock will tick down. And the 20 seniors for West Virginia will finish out their careers on a winning note. And who knows, this may be the last time we'll see Major Harris in Morgantown as well. Major excitement, no kidding. This ball game is all over. Doug Giesler and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights head off. There's Major Harris, big smile on his face, being congratulated by a Rutgers player.
I think the most impressive thing about it is that he handles things so effortlessly, and in the crucial situations he comes up with the play. There's no way to really defend a player like Major Harris. Everybody's tried it. Nobody's been successful. And only last week they stopped themselves a little bit with fumbles. But today, when he had to, he came through. And he's just a marvelous athlete. And he really makes an offense go for you because he can do so much. And I think Don Nehlen said it so beautifully when he said, this kid, you know, he's just a magnificent player, and you feel just privileged to have somebody like that on your squad. How many times do you go through a coaching career and have that kind of an athlete?
Not very often. Major Harris. The other side of Major Harris is what you see right there, signing autographs, talking to the fans, throwing a #1 finger up into the air. Well, the fans love him here, and it's easy to see why. Not just for his performance on the field, but the kind of kid he is. Now it's time for the option play of the game. Brought to you by Option Gray Coverage for Men, the advanced way to get rid of the gray. And let's check it out. This will be the touchdown toss from Major to Reggie Rembert in the second half.
And it's a beautifully executed fade pattern into the corner. They run it so well. He's so tall. They took advantage of the height differential between Rembert and #1, the defensive back for Rutgers, Ron Allen, and he put the ball perfectly there. But Rembert is such a tremendous athlete. You talk about what Major Harris does with the football, but you also know that he's got some great targets to throw to. And Reggie Rembert's arrival here a couple of years ago at a junior college made a big difference for this squad because he's such terrific speed and terrific size to put so much pressure on the defense. Today he had it. He didn't have many catches, but he had the key one.
He had the key one. The 11-yard reception for touchdown in the first quarter after the 59-yard bomb that got him down there. And then, as we just saw again here in the second half, the winning touchdown reception. Reggie Rembert, there's no question about it, will be a first-round selection. You'll see this kid for many years to come, I'm sure, in the pros. But for the fans here in Morgantown, the last time they'll get to see Reggie Rembert in person here in Morgantown, but a fabulous 2 years. And, of course, Major Harris today, as we mentioned, 139 yards passing and 165 yards on the ground.